Welcome back, everyone. Episode 128 of the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. We are brought to you by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business on or offline. It's website design, Google Ads, graphic design, printing. We can absolutely help. Check us out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on Instagram or our website, which is bbdigitalmarketing.com. You can request a free review of your online presence today. I'm Milton Campus. I'm a brown belt training out of South Florida. We got Christian behind the camera. Woo! Say hello. We got Bo over here on the side behind the camera. Woo! And I got these knuckleheads, a bunch of my training partners. We got
Ray DiUlio.
Belt. I should have told you, like, name and rank.
Brown belt.
Mauricio, purple belt.
Justin Lancaster, safety first, blue belt.
Ishar, blue belt. Tommy, blue belt.
Justin, are you going to show your face at all during this podcast? Or are you going to? Okay.
Right
I didn't know. I didn't know how hot I was going to get behind there. All right, guys, give me just a minute or two. We're going to do some shout outs here to our sponsors. So don't forget, everybody, to like, comment, share, click that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate the support. Shout out to Flow and Roll, hands down the best custom gi and no-gi gear in the business. You can visit them on Instagram at flow_and_roll. Check out all their custom designs that they that do for academies across the country. Great stuff. Great pre-order program. If you're opening a gym or things are tight or you just don't like spending a lot of money on keeping gear in your academy, reach out. They've got an incredible program to help you get what you need. Get your gis, your rash guards right to your students. Give them a nice little bag. It's really cool. And you don't have to worry about laying out all that money. All right, so flowandroll.com. You can also get 20% off just your regular orders, your gis, belts that they do. They can embroider your name on a belt. Use code JJD for 20% off there. We've got Neutral Zone Clean, right? You can check them out at Neutral Zone Clean on Instagram and Facebook. And we're going to probably, this will launch this month. So for the entire month of September, they're running some specials on their bundles. So you get wipes, sprays, soaps, and gels. You got them, a couple of them up here. This is the refill for the spray, and you can actually put some of the refill in the wipes if you want to. They dry out a little bit, which they usually don't. Use code JJD for 15% off your order at neutralzoneclean.com. All right, this one's my favorite. Where are my glasses? Layout Optics. Now I got some gifts. Got some gifts for everybody. Layout Optics. Hey, Christian, can you do you remember the site? Can you bring up Layout Optics and the just go to the homepage and we'll show them. I've got I think I've got one pair that I'm going to give away. So Layout Optics is a sunglass and apparel company specializing in bamboo sunglasses. All right, so you can use code JJD for 10% off your order at layoutoptics.com. And this is really cool. Can we, right, you can get your stripe. He sent me these. I am not a black belt. He sent me these, just sent me these, right, sent me a bunch. But you can get he'll put your rank, your belt rank here instead. So really cool. I like these. And let's see if I got some good for everybody.
I'm getting new glasses every time.
Now, hold on. Got some t-shirts, some Layout Optics t-shirts. I might not have for everybody. Who's a large?
I think we're all large.
All large?
At least minimum.
Right, so
we're all large.
Minimum large.
This one, I wear the XL is like snug on me. Want to try it?
To be wearing smaller shirts anyway.
You like? There's a medium. Check out that medium. I'll let Ray choose and then.
Not a medium. Definitely not a medium.
Okay.
It's a Brazilian large.
So I got. These are the. Do you have that the website up?
Yes, sir.
These are this one. Oh, this isn't the same one that I have. I forget which one these are called. This is not. This is
the website here.
This is like a brown one. It's not the Avoda de Vida. I think maybe the other one. Hold on one second. Ray, I'm gonna let you choose a pair of sunglasses. Since you're the ranking belt here.
How many different types?
I'm only seeing black.
I got
glasses.
just two, and these are like both brown, a little bit more like that wood feel. I have this pair. These are nice, and these are a little bit wider.
Suddenly, Mauricio's more
We're
dangerous.
gonna let them. We're gonna let the rest of them fight it out. We're gonna let them roll here at the end of the show, and we'll let them choose.
Shar's gonna win.
You want to see which one fits better?
We already know Shar's
All
gonna
right,
win.
so here, that's you.
You guys just get me tired.
There we
Make it
go.
a fair fight.
We'll see if they behave. We'll let them. We'll fight it out.
Right here. There's space.
All right. Yeah. There's enough space. We can get the camera
And it's
looking down, right?
carpet,
So I got that. What else do I got? I got some other stuff for you guys. I'll give you guys some stuff in a little bit. But thank you to Lionel at Leo Optics. He gave me that stuff when he first started with us, and hadn't been. Yeah, man. Let's do it. Those are called the Avore de Vida. And again, 10% off at leooptics.com. BioPro. We got BioPro. All right. BioPro is going to help you with anti-aging, metabolism, libido, immune system, skin, cognition, as well as sleep and stress. So they have this is the daytime, this is the regular, and then there's one with quarter sleep, which helps with nighttime. I absolutely I stopped taking all of my other, like I needed, what are those those pills that you could take at night to sleep? What are they? Melatonin. I was taking melatonin, like had the gummies. I was taking like 4 or 5 a night. Completely stopped. Take this. Falling asleep, legit. Falling asleep without any problem. I don't take anything else anymore. So I take a little vial in the morning, 1 vial at night on an empty stomach. Boom. And you guys can see how like jacked I've been getting, right? You know. BioPro, or it's actually bioproteintech.com. You get 30% off with code JJD on their regularly priced kits. So this is this comes out to like, this is like around $300 for both of them, and then you get $30 off. So the kits, you have to buy $295 or more for the code to work. So you got to get a kit. All right. I think that's it. I got some other stuff that I'll give you guys during the show. Actually, I got one.
More surprises.
We got a purple belt here? Oh, no, we got we got blue belts, right?
Yeah, purple belt.
Oh, we'll let the blue belts fight it
Everything
out for
but
this
the white
stuff.
belts, actually. I mean,
So what do we got? So we got blue.
Black and white.
We got blue, purple, brown. Did you got who got their belts at the same time?
I got it by myself.
I think
before,
Justin
in April,
Tommy,
right before
didn't
that. I got it by myself in April. Before
You
that
got-
tournament,
you got it,
Jiu-Jitsu
yeah,
World
yeah.
League.
Yeah, but within a few days or something, right?
Yeah, it was all within a week.
Yeah, you weren't around.
It was just because you guys
wasn't
weren't
there
all
or
there at the
something.
same time, right?
Right.
Same thing. You would have gotten it at the same time.
Yeah, I
Or
would
did
have
you get-
definitely.
You jumped around a
Shar
little
should have
bit too,
gotten
right?
his like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
well,
So
I
wait, so
moved.
yeah, so you were with? Did you start with us?
Yeah,
You started with us when it was Fight Sports, Fight Sports Coral
Exactly.
Springs, and then you went to Wagner's.
yes.
Right.
I moved over there near school.
Then you
and I
came
went to
back
Wagner's.
and murdered everybody every day. Then you came back
With the green belt.
They do a green belt over there, right?
So I got promoted with Wagner with the green belt,
The green belt.
and then I came back, and then
They always do the white to green to blue,
Yeah,
or okay.
they're still doing that now.
I don't know if like you were just new, but you know what I mean. Like sometimes they're like, we need
when I
a little
got
more
there-
time, but let me give you the green.
Yeah, when I got there, they're like, "Yeah,
You're
we
not
gotta
a
get
white
you-
belt.
We gotta get you out of that white belt." I was like, they would call me Bruno Mars. Well, that was the funniest. I wasn't Char there. I was Bruno Mars, and then they gave me the green belt, but Wagner would put me with people like brown, purple. Like he's not a white belt.
Yeah. Did you have like a wrestling background?
Yeah, in high school,
Did you play football too?
and I played football in
Yeah,
college.
it
and
feels
high
like
school.
it. It feels like it when we roll with you, so we kind of know. I think it's usually like wrestlers, like you kind of.
Like
Like-
you can't even join most tournaments. You got to if you got wrestling background, you can't like enter as a novice or.
Yeah, I remember when I did the first New Breed, there was like, there was a guy online who's just like, I don't know why he opened his mouth, but he was probably in his 40s, and he was just like, oh yeah, like he came to like brag, but then they were like, oh, you're a wrestler? And they moved him up. He was a white belt wrestler, but so they moved him up into blue. But I think he thought he was gonna be like, yeah, I'm a wrestler, man, new to jiu-jitsu, and they were like, okay, yeah, great, we'll put you in the blue.
They never asked me, so
Yeah.
I kept that a secret.
Have you done any other competitions?
No, just the New Breed and Jiu-Jitsu World League.
Yeah.
That's it. Definitely want to look up the sign up
Yeah.
for some more, for
Yeah.
sure.
What about you guys? What do you think about competing? I know like we're not like, we haven't been like the biggest competition school, but like it's starting to happen. Like the girls, your wife is competing,
Yeah.
which is kind of like crazy for you, right?
That's crazy.
So how many people in your family are training? Is it 4, 5?
So out of the 6 of us, 5 of us, actually all 6 of us have trained, but my youngest daughter doesn't train anymore.
Bring it out.
Does it really have to be that close?
Yeah, because it's
okay.
it's gonna sound shitty when you.
My youngest daughter doesn't train anymore, and my oldest son, he's too cool for anything at the moment, but I'm sure he'll be back to train at some point. But everybody else trains.
Yeah. You got a son that trains, right? Just turned 18.
Yes, my son just turns 18. He's been training since he was 11. I don't have anything against competition. I just don't compete it myself. Tried to ask Gabriel if he wants to compete it a few times. He's just not into it.
Did he compete at all though?
He did a new breed once, and he did in-house competition with Felipe twice.
Yeah. Did he just not like it, or
He just don't like it. He hates the butterflies. Like some people like
the build-up.
Some people like the butterflies. And he hates it. He says he bothers him.
like your son? I named your son Iceman.
Yeah.
Right? How old is Rocco?
He's 10.
He just goes in there like nothing. Like it's just like
Yeah,
That kid's amazing. Like,
it's just like just part. Yeah, another day, right?
Yeah.
He just goes in.
Amazing.
But then I know, like, I've talked to your wife, and she's just like, I don't know how he's like that. She's nervous.
crippling anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I kind of felt like that too. Char, do you get nerves?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, right before the match, I mean, it's the heart's pumping. You're
Yeah.
thinking you want to succeed. That's a little bit of pressure there.
Yeah.
It's different. I mean, I can't even capture the feeling like rolling to competing.
are you
Yeah,
addicted to it? Because some people get addicted to that feeling, the adrenaline.
I don't.
No, nope, not addicted at all.
So I've never competed before. What is the feeling like when you're actually like? I know you get nervous before the competition, but what does it feel like when you're actually in a competition fight?
So when I'm in the fight, I would say the feeling that really sticks out to me is I kind of get tunnel vision. you
Really?
know? So like in rolling, there's not as much pressure, so I feel more fluid. I feel I take more risks. I try moves that I normally wouldn't try in competition.
We know.
So in a competition time, I'm going with the stuff that I know is high percentage, is working. And then sometimes I get tunnel vision, trying to really fight for a Kimura, trying to really fight for a pass, and not looking
That's
for
like
different options, different reactions that I can get.
The Kimura is definitely a Wagner thing. Did you kind of like pick up a little bit more at Wagner's on
the Kimura system from Wagner's, the trap, the taking the back or going to side control.
You like the
using his
Kimura
pass.
trap. He's been doing the Kimura trap on me here and there. I had to start pulling up videos. I found like some escapes and some.
Then
Like,
I had to show Aaron. Now everyone's got sore shoulders.
Char's got a really nasty one on top half guard.
yeah.
top
When you
half
go
guard.
after that Kimura, that
try to
Kimura
just-
grip.
Kick out.
So
Go pass over the head.
I competed pre-heart attack, white, blue, purple after the heart attack though, and then I was just like that. I can't. My cardio is just not the same as when I first started, but for me the feeling is definitely like just like an incredible amount of nerves. Like, can you think of like the time that you were like the most nervous?
Of course.
Like, okay. So I used to like, if I had to do a speech in front of a class, I actually like got up in front of the school and did a speech, and I was okay doing it, but definitely like the lead up, you're super nervous, like those overwhelming butterflies.
Sure.
You've had that feeling.
Sure.
That's what it is. But I think there's that added anxiety too, because now you're going into a fight. Like some people call it a fight, some people call it a match. I'll call it a fight. You're about to fight a human being, your size, usually your age, rank, your experience. So it's not like you're just going in front of people and talking. You're about to fight somebody who's going to try to, quote unquote, kill you, right, or break an arm, right? So it's like that added level of pressure. But I think for most people, once it starts, that all goes away. Your mind can really, I think, really only work on that problem. So now you're working on that problem in front of you. So like everything else kind of goes away. The people, the voices. I think a lot of people always will say like, the only voice I can hear is my coach. Like your brain will laser focus in on either somebody you know or your coach who you know is yelling at you. That, those arenas, most of the time, it's like everybody's screaming and yelling. There's multiple matches going off, but you wind up only hearing the coach. And, if Felipe's your coach, he's so loud.
Right.
You can hear him and you know that it's him, What
Yeah,
were you gonna say, Sean?
sometimes I don't even hear my coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had Felipe in my corner yet. It's been Esteban
Yeah.
and Costco.
Yeah.
So I've heard them. Esteban, not really.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Yeah.
That last tournament, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he doesn't speak loud enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
How about you, Tommy? Do you think that you would compete?
I've been thinking about it. Maybe like a small local,
Yeah.
one day. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I'm competing just showing up.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
What do you mean?
but-
In what way?
Well,
just
I
like
mean,
getting
just-
there is like it's hard to get there sometimes?
No,
or-
I mean just staying committed to training. Trying to go 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah.
On the weekends. But I do want to compete eventually.
I'm have no plans to compete, but I definitely think it's something that you should try, because you almost got to get it out of the way so that you don't have to answer that question. Have you ever competed? And you say no, like you get that out of the way. but also like it is good to kind of understand where your jiu-jitsu's at. I mean, it's even different. Like the closest thing that you can maybe come to it is like, if you don't compete, is like when you go to an open mat or people come into the gym and they go fucking hard, and you like, right, you know, and you're like, hey, bro, like, we're doing that, right, and you have to like level up a little bit, but it's still not. That's probably as close as you'll get to it, but it's still not the same. But I think it's definitely a good thing to like kind of get that feeling. We did a good interview with Brendan McCatherine. If you go on Instagram, like it's in the videos, and it's like the 4 things that you should, 4 reasons to compete, and he goes through like going completely prepared and losing, going completely prepared and winning, going completely unprepared and winning, going completely unprepared and getting demolished, and understanding those things, which I think I've kind of done. Went prepared and went crazy and won, went prepared and fucking lost, was like, oh, at purple belt, like, oh, I got this. I'm like, I've been working out, I've been lifting weights a little bit again, and then fucking getting demolished, and like guys half my age. At the new breeds, it's hard. How old are you?
34.
25.
All right, so like you're going to go, there's going to be a lot of people. You're like, there's always the 20-somethings. There'll be fewer people. And then for like guys like us, it's like you're on a new breed, you're going to get
really
the
tough.
locals, you're going to
You're not gonna find
get
anybody.
mixed in with a bunch of younger guys. I never fought anybody close. I fought one time a guy my age. Any other time everybody was half my age. So that then it's like I'm, you know, think of it like I have a hard time with you guys sometimes, and you guys are half my age. Imagine fighting somebody that's got the same experience and then is half my age, as hard, and then it's multiple fights, you know. So, but I definitely think that everybody should try it. You're asking about it. Are you going to do it? You
I'm
think?
interested in it.
Yeah.
So if we were going to go, like Tommy and I, if we were going to compete, would you recommend doing a smaller one like New Breed? Or would you recommend going
How old are you?
the full? I'm the ripe young age of 39.
Okay. So I would say the older you get, I would actually probably say that you want to do like an IBJJF where they
Okay.
absolutely keep you evenly matched up. There's no
Higher
mixing.
odds of-
There's no
right.
mixing of like belt ranks and
Okay.
ages and things like that. For the younger guys, like he doesn't care if he's fighting a 30-something or a guy younger than him or older
He's a
than him.
monster anyway. So.
Yeah, right. So I mean, he's the one that they got to worry about. We know
Right.
that he's the one
Right,
that they got to
right.
worry about,
Yes.
right? So even Tom, like you're getting at that point where, how would you say 36? 34. So like you're getting at that age where again, there's just the older you get, the fewer people are competing, and the more likely it is you're going to be mixed in with like a younger crowd. But you know, I was fine with that. I just started training at 41, so I was fine with that in my 40s. But then now I'm like, shit, 50. Imagine having to go against somebody 25 evenly matched. That's gonna be freaking hard. And then you got the, you know, people will say, well, you know, you go in there for the experience. Well, you still want to have like a chance, right? You want to be like, I'm going there expecting to be evenly matched with people, you know, not go in there and be like with somebody that's half my age and then it's like, well, I'm just here. This is a flow roll for them, you know.
Yeah,
so
it's funny you say that. When the Jiu Jitsu World League I did, I don't know if you guys saw that fight because you guys were there. Yeah. There was a orange belt that joins my bracket. I didn't go against him. He was like on the opposite side of my bracket.
So he would be under 16.
Yeah,
He would be under 16, right?
He wasn't even 18. This
Yeah.
kid, but he was just our size.
Yeah.
That's really what got him in the bracket. Because nobody in his bracket, I guess, showed up, or there was enough people. We have orange belt goes against the blue belt, and just I was like, that kid had no chance. Because the guy that I fought in the finals.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he wound up smashing some of the older people, some of the big guys.
One guy, like his first fight, but then when he went against the guy who I fought in the finals, it was like wasn't even close.
Yeah,
The guy that I fought in
That's
the
the thing
finals
about
had
man
some sort of
strength, for
judo,
sure.
sort of judo background. He was trying to
right. There's some there is that old man strength, right?
Yeah,
I
for sure.
think I
I think
feel
when you're
that.
at that age, you know, in 15, 16, because if he had an orange belt and if he was, you know, higher level, they would have gave him a blue belt. Because I think when you're 16, you get your blue belt.
Mm-hmm.
So he was probably 15.
Yeah.
15 fighting a man, that's a little different, you know.
Yeah.
Man strength.
Like you
versus
said, at
kid
15,
strength,
you're
you know?
still kind of getting to know
Yeah.
your body. You don't
Yeah.
know, maybe really understand leverage. If you've been training for a long time, maybe you understand the leverage in jiu-jitsu. But we understand our bodies a little bit more, right? You guys all know, right? The older you get, right?
So, Ray, that old man strength, when does that start going away in your experience?
Oh, it's been going away little by little by little. Trust me, man. Every year I feel weaker and getting smaller every year, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you're lifting, right? You gotta.
Yeah, I mean, I lift maybe a couple times a week, you know, so I can walk by a mirror.
A couple times a week.
Yeah.
Not be
Lies.
disgusted. I got a young wife. You know.
Do you think I don't? I mean, I don't think I've never. Again, starting at 41, I was never able to get in shape because of jiu-jitsu. Like, yeah, I got into jiu-jitsu shape, but I've never like, oh, look at me, you know, like without supplementing with weightlifting? Do you guys who exercises outside of jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I've been pushing myself.
Yeah, I know you
outside.
do. You do. Or have you been? Do you
The
do
last
anything?
time I did, I got injured, and that was this past Sunday.
What lifting?
Yes, every once in a while I do lift
Exercising outside of jiu-jitsu?
Yes, yes.
I know you. Do you run or do you walk? Do you run?
I used to run more, but
Yeah.
every once in a while I walk. Sometimes I go for a run, but
Yeah.
lifting weights has actually gone by the wayside mostly.
So, do you mind us talking about your weight loss?
Oh yeah, sure.
So, how much did you weigh at your
I
biggest?
weighed a whole nother person. I weighed 380 pounds was my peak.
Awesome.
Damn.
That's that weight.
What and so what do you weigh now?
I weigh,
Give me
I
chills
hover
for some
200, 205.
205,
hover right
380. 200 wow, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
That's
a whole nother human being.
that's a that's a whole Mauricio. That's
yes,
Mauricio.
Correct, yes. Yeah, and I have trouble with just
You
the
lost the
one.
whole Mauricio, right?
Hey, man, when you roll, I still feel it when like, you can still got a
Thank you, man.
300
Do you
pound
feel like you
pressure.
have that shit? Like
Thank
I
you
feel
for
like
calling me a fatty, Shar.
yeah. Well, I think he means the strength that goes along with being a big man, right?
That's actually that's a huge myth. Actually, like a lot of people think when you're heavier, and you start to lose weight, your legs should be strong because you're carrying around all that weight.
No.
Totally not the truth. Not the truth, because when you weigh that much, when you have so much adipose tissue, it's your muscles are atrophying, and
Yeah.
it's bad on your joints, which is why heavier people. One, you don't see a whole lot of heavier people in their older
Yeah.
age, and two, they always have knee problems, they have hip problems because it's
Oh,
deteriorating.
do you have any
your
of those
joints.
problems?
Of course I do. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I
But
would've
I
thought-
chalk
would've
that
thought
up to
you-
being old. So
I would have thought you would brought some strength down as you come down.
you would
but I
think
guess
so,
not.
but no.
What led you? So, I met you. You had already lost a
Correct,
significant
yeah.
amount
No
of
one
weight.
here knows me from my fat days.
So
yeah.
you weren't doing jujitsu yet. You started jujitsu after you were already into your weight
Correct,
loss.
yes.
Do you feel like jujitsu's helped you with that weight loss?
When I started
Maintaining,
jiu-jitsu,
probably.
I was like 230 or so. So I've lost some weight since
Yeah.
then, but
But again, you're
It
still
helps.
supplementing with other exercise outside.
correct, yeah. But it helps maintain where I'm at
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like that's always one of the biggest struggles when people lose weight, especially a lot of weight, is maintaining the weight loss.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's
Yeah.
so easy for me because of that.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing jiu-jitsu on a regular basis.
What,
Coming away.
what was the biggest thing? Was it diet? Was it the exercise?
For
Like
losing
what
weight?
really led you to losing the weight?
Running a lot, just being disciplined. The whole reason I started to lose weight, it wasn't because I wanted to lose weight. It was because I was a fat piece of shit my whole life. And
Were you big as a kid as well?
I was always big.
Yeah.
I was always big. And
Yeah.
like the thing that led me down that road is I never did anything that was disciplined or difficult.
Yeah.
And so that's why I chose running, because running sucks. No one wants to run.
Yeah.
And so I did that to train myself to do the things that I didn't want to do.
And you're obviously sitting down. How tall are you?
I'm 6'1.5".
So 6'1", 380 pounds. That's
Yeah.
that's a pretty big
Justin
dude.
Goggins over here,
huge
man.
guy.
If you would have come in at 380, I would have been like over to like not looking at you on the mat.
Yeah. That would have been a good feeling to scare Milton just by a look.
But you had to change your diet right away too, right?
of course I did. Eat
'cause
healthier.
I don't think you
yes.
can run your way into losing 180 pounds.
It's- I mean, you can-
For the
Yeah.
most
change your
part,
diet,
yes.
I
You
would
still
think,
still have to be at a relative calorie deficit.
It's the fuel. I mean, the fuel.
Correct.
Good in. What are they?
And if
say?
you-
Good in, good out.
Running sucks
bad
so
in.
much as it is. If you're eating really badly in the meantime, while you're doing that, it's just going to be so much worse on yourself. So
Sure, you've like lost a little bit of weight recently. You trying to make? Are you making weight?
Yeah.
Are you
yeah,
making weight?
I'm 198 right now.
What you were like,
like
a
3
couple of
weeks
months
ago.
ago? What were you walking around at? You were
A couple months
15,
ago, I
right?
was 218.
because you just walked into the gym the other day. I mean, I feel like it only was like a couple weeks that I didn't see you,
It's like 206.
and all of a sudden you were like
slimmer.
you slimmed down.
Yeah, I've been.
Is this
working hard.
just for? I mean, do you feel like will you
wanna
go
compete.
back, or you just want to stay down here and?
I want to compete at a lower weight.
Yeah.
Lower weight class. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more fights. I'm noticing there's more fights.
Yeah,
In the weight class, I'm trying to get to 185.
yeah.
Because I'm fighting at 220. It's like the tournaments has been 1 or 2 guys.
Yeah,
There's like 8 guys in the 185 bracket.
yeah,
I'm trying to get my money's worth, man.
Yeah, then you get a guy 6'4" who's like coming down to 208.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like,
That too.
Tommy, did you lose? I'm sorry. Did you lost some weight too,
I
right?
did.
You lost a
Yeah,
significant amount of weight, right, when you started jiu-jitsu?
I was like 230, just eating whatever the
That's
hell
me
I
right now.
wanted.
Yeah.
Float around in the pool with a Corona.
Living the dream.
Yeah, but no, I started around 230. It dropped off pretty quick, honestly.
From jiu-jitsu,
Just
mostly
from
from jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu, yeah.
Did you change the way you eat? That you were eating
I
and
did,
stuff?
yeah. I changed up my diet. The fast food, the sugars, all the all the junk food.
He had me in his ear constantly about it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
really? No.
Yeah, he got the Ray diet.
Dr. Ray.
Ray's my nutritionist now, basically, man.
But no, I mean, we came up with a plan, and it worked, and I felt really good.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I got to get back to it. I've been slacking a little bit lately.
Yeah.
But
I think when jiu-jitsu is the thing that makes me want to get in shape, right? When I go in and I've been slacking, and then I roll with you guys, and it's like, fuck, oof.
It hurts.
Yeah, it was tough. That was a tough one. I'm super driven to then go back and be like, okay, I got to start eating right, or get to the gym and lift more. I'm like, fucking sharp, man. That motherfucker. Like I don't use it in anger, but I definitely use it as motivation when I go to the gym, when I've lost in practice, or I'm doing poorly, or we're doing the warm-ups, and I'm like, and we've only done the run. We've only done the run.
Warm-ups can be awful sometimes, yes.
Those 4 laps. It's like 5 laps, but he counts out like 2.
You can always come in late and do
Yeah.
warm
When
up.
you're doing a half a lap,
Just pull an Allen.
Yeah.
Who would do that,
Wait,
Mauricio?
who's Sean?
Just pull an Allen and just.
Oh,
just
he mentioned
get there magically.
the name.
It already
Magically,
came up.
when we
It already
finish
came
Alan,
warm-ups.
I'm just saying, Alan, I love
on,
you.
Alan.
I don't mind that you don't come and do the warm ups, but
But you
apparently,
should. But you should.
But you should.
You
You should
should.
join us. But what were you saying? I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You were just
No, that was
okay.
a little bit
Just
about
calling
Allen.
out Alan, that's all.
Yeah.
Warm up, Allen.
So that's like the biggest. I mean, that's always kind of been something that's happened. I think really we only have one person that does it, but that's like such a thing. Like, so most of you guys,
And he's
I've been
coincidentally
at 2
a purple belt.
And he's a purple
meme,
belt.
The meme level.
Ricardo's
It's fun.
been slacking too lately. I got it. Ricardo,
Yeah.
you've been slacking a little bit too.
you know what's funny though? Who is it? Like there's always those that's the joke, right? That's the ongoing joke that it's at purple belt.
Purple belts
I've
keep
been at 2
warm-ups,
different
yes.
gyms. I mean, so like we didn't even have purple belts. Like it was like everybody started at white, or like maybe we had visitors, but it was like a brand new gym. But then at Felipe's, I guess there's always one. There's like one guy that doesn't come in, and it's usually a purple belt. I mean, you trained significantly outside of our gym.
Yeah.
Did you have? I mean, you were at American Top Team at a point. You probably couldn't show up late at American Top Team.
They frowned upon it. That's
Yeah.
I mean,
Was there a punishment for it?
Maybe brown belts, black belts, but honestly, I don't even remember any purple belts like doing the skipping warm ups.
Yeah.
Not really.
The punishment there must have been having a cot set up there for you so you can sleep there. Because sometimes I think you're sleeping at our gym because you're always there.
Who else? Who has been at I've been at multiple gyms, but only 2. The one we're in now, and one before. You floated
Just now in Wagner's.
and Wagner's, and everybody else you've only trained.
I only train at Felipe's.
You train at Felipe's. Have you guys? Have anybody done an open mat at another gym?
I've done the one by what's that indoor golf karting arcade? Action Park.
Extreme Action Park. That's A&M. A&M,
Sanford.
or
I
when
I
it
went to
was
A&M with Junior actually.
Yeah.
Junior
No,
took me.
that's Drew. He's been part of the show and done some like co-hosting with me. That's a really good place to get some good experience. It used to be Stanford MMA. It's A&M Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh.
So the way that place is set up is right. So if, people that aren't in Florida aren't going to know, but it's like a huge warehouse, and the big thing on the end that you can see from the highway is the Extreme Action Park, which I'm actually supposed to go to tomorrow for some work thing.
It's a great time.
But yeah, in the front there are mats, but there's that whole like it kind of looks like a football field for people to come like professional NFL players go there to train, and like they can have their trainer come with them, and they just kind of rent the space for that time. But it's huge. I mean, it's like a huge warehouse. But there's probably a good maybe 30 by 40 area where it's just mats. So like I think he rents that from Sanford MMA. I think still has that lease. And then he like subleases from them. But then there's also like somebody that does stand up. So it's like a different coach that does different things. So I guess they rent it. But I think he's about to do something. I saw him post like something's happening where he's expanding, or maybe he's taking over some other stuff. So I've been watching his Instagram to see what's up. But that's a great place. And if anybody did want to cross train, there's a good place, and he's super friendly, and but some of those guys are tough. Some of those guys are like, there's a couple of amateur fighters in there that go train. Like they might be doing jiu-jitsu, and like some guys over there in the corner hitting the bag. So like that's okay there. I think if you're not going to compete, like going to some open mats, going to seminar, like I think all that stuff is important. I've done that a little bit, not a ton. I think like at a lower belt, like you kind of feel like I can't go to another open mat, right? I mean, is that the feeling? Like, do you feel like it would be frowned upon by your coach?
No, I've actually been doing open mat when I traveled to Ocala. There was a gym up there. I forget the shout out to the gym. I don't remember. No, they were great though. But that's always been a thing. Is like I've talked to a couple guys here about going to open mats when they're traveling or whatever, and a lot of guys, I think even one of our teachers was talking about it once, that they wouldn't do that because it's just so personal. And I've always wondered,
personal in what way? The jiu-jitsu?
I don't know. When you're traveling, if you're going to go to open mat when you're traveling on vacation or whatever. So, like, does anybody else have? I wouldn't call it.
You know who's a great person to talk about? I wish he was here. Miguel is great at bringing his gi when he travels, and he'll go to open mats. I
think it's great.
He like people that we've interviewed on the show. He's like, I'm going to be in Virginia, and he seeks them out and he goes.
Right.
When I travel, I don't travel a lot, but when I did travel, like my wife was not down with me. I never brought my gi anywhere. I never looked to go anywhere because it was just like, it's our time, you know.
It's our time.
That's like bringing the Xbox
that's why she's
to the
the
PlayStation.
X. What's that?
It's like bringing the Xbox to the PlayStation when your girlfriend you're on vacation.
Now that's crossing the line.
That's But you know, like, well, for me, it was just like I don't think my wife didn't realize, like, she never. Jiu-jitsu was the other woman.
Miss your morning routine, Bar Pro.
The Jiu-Jitsu Dummies would like to congratulate Neutral Zone Clean on the release of their newest product, a healthy and pH-balanced bar soap that's perfect for anyone looking to take care of their skin. This soap is made with all natural ingredients that help nourish and restore your skin's natural barrier. It contains glycerin, which naturally attracts moisture to itself in the skin, leaving it feeling soft and hydrated. The new bar soap also contains a blend of olive, coconut, and castor oils and shea butter, which are rich in vitamins, nutrients, essential fatty acids, and antioxidants that help fight harmful bacteria. With tea tree and other natural ingredients, it also helps in the prevention of fungal infections. Not only is it effective, but it also leaves your skin feeling fresh and lightly scented. It's gentle enough for even the most sensitive skin, making it a perfect choice for the whole family. Be sure to check out their website, neutralzoneclean.com, for a range of all-natural products including sprays, wipes, and shower gels, and use code JJD for 15% off your order. Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram @flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu-Jitsu Dummy signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Jiu-jitsu is what took me away from her. And work too. You know, I know you work like crazy. I don't know if you got that kind of going on a little bit.
She's good to us, man.
It was jiu-jitsu. That's the thing. Like, I'm a better version of myself. Right there you go. Right, I'm a better version of myself because of jiu-jitsu, and I don't think that she truly realized that. And I've said this on the show. I used to tell her, like, if you're mad at me, talk to me when I get back from jiu-jitsu, because I'm just gonna be like, okay, baby, you know, like, yeah, whatever. I'm sorry. You know, like, I'm gonna be the easiest, like moldable clay that you can have at that moment, and right? It's like after sex, like you're just like, yeah, baby, whatever, baby, yeah, whatever you need. She never realized that, but I definitely think that it made me a better person, and you know, like a lot more common. Again, it's turned into a business for me. So she hated jiu-jitsu in the beginning because I was like doing it 6 days a week, 2+ hours a day, because I would go coach and open the school or go to open mats on the weekend. So it was just like it was taking me away from her. So, but I definitely think it makes me a better, you know, a better person. I'm a lot more calm. I used to go out with my friend, let's get into fights. Like I used to just be, you know, just be like that.
Just remember,
you know, when I was younger.
Just remember what Professor said to you. Like, doing a podcast does not count as training.
Yeah, yeah, right. He has said that.
Until there's a mat space in here anyway.
Yeah. We when I first started doing he was like it was like officially our third show, but we aired it as our fourth show. We had to we swapped them that day. So he was like on episode number 4. And I've invited him back, but he hasn't accepted my invite.
He doesn't want to go to a podcast open mat yet.
Yeah, no, I don't know. But yeah, I would definitely suggest going open mats. I mean, like, don't feel weird about it. I think it's always good though to tell your coach. I think once you get past purple, like, I don't really think you necessarily need permission to be like, let me go train at this place. But I think, white and blue, you'd be like, hey, listen, I'm going to this place. I'm, like, just, you don't want him to see you on Facebook or on Instagram, like, posting and being like, what are you doing over there? What's going on? Are you did you leave? Are you going to another school? Like, you just kind of head it off by saying, hey, coach, I'm going to be at an open mat this weekend. He's never going to say, our coach is never going to say no. But
I think with our school, I think he's more just worried about especially the lower belts, like going somewhere and getting hurt, right? Because, they just may not know how to act or, depending on what the school's culture is like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some school cultures are like kill or be killed.
Yeah. So. We're like the open mat in the area. Like he'll let people come in. Yeah. Especially like, he goes to train with Jay-Z. He goes to train at Wagner's. Like those, Deerfield Fight Sports guys still come in. So we're like the school, like those guys know, like everybody knows Saturday, Sunday, they can come in. It's turned to the drilling, I think, has stopped some people from coming in because they just want to come for the open mat. And then now we're like drilling for the first Saturday. It's like 1 hour of drilling. We can stay and roll, but we really don't roll. Or was that Friday? Really Friday like night is more of like drilling. And Saturday we've really drilled for the hour. He's kind of gone a half hour.
Yeah, roll a little bit.
Sunday is 2 hours, hour of drilling. And then 1 hour.
Then an open mat. Technically, he's open mat.
But he doesn't love when people like just show up for the role, whether they're students or not. It's like, hey guys, we start at 9 because we're last week he was like, hey, we're a little sweaty because we've been drilling for an hour. It's like his way of nicely saying like, we start at 9. Like if you want to come and roll with us, like come roll from the beginning. Get sweaty and tired with us and then roll.
Give me a lot of Kobe vibes when he said that.
Yeah.
Like I was already in here putting in work.
Yeah. That's the way he does it.
So the trick is compromise. Show up at 9:30, and then you can drill the half an hour.
I will. You know what? Like if I'm gonna,
I would never do that.
If I'm gonna be late, I don't go.
Correct.
I don't like working in.
Wait.
A couple of minutes late, like traffic, work. I was on a call, but if I'm gonna be late, I've never, even for the open mats, I won't show up if I'm gonna be like a half hour late. I find it disrespectful.
15 minutes is the cutoff.
Yeah.
You're a little different. Like a lot of times you're coming from work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now Tommy, you got this guy. That's the first time I've ever had somebody tell somebody, you better get to the fucking podcast or you're fired.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to
we
put
were
it
all
out there.
surprised.
I wanted to put it out there that it wasn't because the job was in jeopardy. So if he didn't show up, it was on him.
Covering his own ass.
Yeah. No, yeah, man. No, I'm glad I made it here though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, work's been crazy, so
yeah,
I'm just trying to juggle that. I mean, I'm sure it's another excuse, but
did he officially kind of take over for Grateful Tree and Hedge?
He did. Yeah.
So we got Ray's not only a friend and a training partner, but I actually help manage his marketing for Grateful Tree and Hedge and Grateful Clusia Nursery. And you've taken over. You're answering the calls and you're running things. You're doing the sales.
Yeah, first week. So
congrats.
So he's got 2 jobs. He's got 2 jobs.
Are you?
But,
is he still working for the other company as well? Are you doing both?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel good. A little nervous because I don't know all the lingo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn.
That'll come.
And then Ray, vacation for 2 days.
Vacation.
Like just takes.
You went to North Carolina to what to help build a house or something?
No, I'm doing a real estate flip with a buddy of mine that I've known for like 40 years up there. I'm helping him out with it. So
yeah.
I went up there for like the little crucial part of the project. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw you get all freaking. Yeah, man. It's like how the other half lives now. You're not scared to get your hands dirty, though.
That's why I had to get it on video, because I want to make sure people see it. I actually work.
That video's going to last for like the next year. Whenever somebody says, what do you do? Sit behind a desk, he's going to be sending them that video. Yeah. Right?
Finally matched your belt.
Yeah.
So going back to the cross training, would you go to an open mat? If I said, hey, let's go over to A&M, would you guys go? I'll get you guys together.
Is it now
I don't know.
dojo storming again? Are we bringing it back?
Nah, man. We ain't storming anybody. I mean, I know A&M. Those are tough son of a bitches, and there's a lot of legs over there too. There's a lot of
legs to lock, huh?
I mean, there's a lot of leg locks that are going to be coming your way. So we need to clean up that aspect of our game before. You got to be careful when you go over there.
Yeah.
We don't do any leg locks really.
Yeah. Well,
Some ankle locks.
Yeah. I think he's been kind of like peppering in some stuff here and there.
But a lot of us aren't even high enough belt levels to even use like tournament wise.
You know what's funny? The last time I went to A&M, I was hitting everybody with the lockdown, and Drew was like, I think it's his cousin who helps him run the gym. He was just like, hey, my cousin does the lockdown, like work on some stuff with him. And I was like kind of showing him. And I think that time it's been a while. So at that time it wasn't like brand new to me, but I definitely don't know as much as I know now. And like the folding that we do now with the leg.
And the fold is damn near a leg lock.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, see that's the thing is like we have like, there are some aspects to what we do that are good leads to legs, but we're not really hyper focused on that. I think if you're going to compete, what is it like? Really, brown belt is. I mean, it's more a little bit more basic, but like brown belt, especially no-gi, right? You got the heel hooks now.
Yeah, IBJJF. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to be, on point with that.
When can we start hitting the knee bars? And what belt?
I think it's brown belt.
Brown belt.
Yeah, brown belt.
Yeah.
Those knee bars from the fold that you get on top.
But
with the,
I'm going to say too is like that's.
Unless you roll with Milton, he don't care if you're white, green,
Why?
He's trying to do that.
What do you mean?
Knee bar with the lockdown.
I do like that. See, that's the thing. It's like we have leg stuff. You just right like now you're starting to think of it. You've already said like 2 or 3 instances, right? The fold is essentially like that's how I popped my knee. I popped my knee. I was out for
with the fold
for 9 months on the fold before I knew what the fold was. Before I knew, I didn't know how to react to it. I won't say. Who did it to me, Felipe? But I was on top of him in like a cross collar choke. I was probably being a little disrespectful because it was over his face. Like I didn't have it under, but I was just like, I'm not fucking letting this go. And he had the fold, and he hadn't taught me how. Oh, I got it. I better go, or my knee's gonna pop. And he didn't like wrench it, but he was, felt it pop, and I was like, oh, okay. Luckily, it was like the day before COVID, so I was out. Right as COVID started, I was going into quarantine. So, but anyway,
I had a little injury with you actually, not a fold, maybe a year or two ago. It's just a little bit. I was in mount, and you just hit and try to hit it like a little sweep, and my foot got caught. Sometimes your foot,
but not with the fold. I wasn't folding.
No, it wasn't a fold. My knee's never.
So it's kind of your fault.
Yeah.
I mean, my foot was positioned the wrong way. Should have been tucked.
Did you tap?
My foot should have been tucked.
That leads me to a really good question.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go down. Injuries. Give me an injury, and who did it to you?
I would say, right now, my shoulder. And I think I did it to myself by just trying to muscle out of something, just reacting.
Has anybody hit you with an injury, though? Have you been... Can you point a finger? I'm going to point fingers.
No.
Can you point a finger at anybody that hurt you? Sure.
Besides the one I mentioned with the knee, I would say recently this year I had a nasty muscle cramp from Alex trying to fight out of a
little Alex,
purple belt Alex. Trying to fight out of a,
that's older. But they're both purple belts now. But older Alex or younger Alex? Younger Alex.
Younger Alex that still comes.
Okay.
You gotta stop calling him little Alex. He's not little anymore.
He's a fucking grown man with muscles, right?
Yeah, I would say him trying to fight out of a triangle.
Yeah. And actually, I think older Alex listens once in a while, so we can make fun of him and try to get him back in the gym.
Where you been?
He's I'll tell you. Well, I won't tell you, but he was out for a legit reason. And I think he's just kind of like struggling with getting back. So I get a haircut from him every Saturday, and every Saturday he does too. And we're like in his ear, like just get the fuck. Like he's been out for so long, and he had to be. He's been out for so long that it's hard to get that first foot through the door again. And I'll say this: he hasn't said this, but I'm going to make this observation. I know that he did come back once, and he realized like it's been a while. And like a guy like little Alex and even you and who did he? Aaron. Yeah, Aaron and you guys. He rolled with some of you guys. Aaron hit him with the Sophia's, like when you grab the arm and the leg and you flipped him over,
You hit him with it a couple
twice in the one roll. I was on the wall watching and I was like, and that was hard. I think hard for him to get hit with like something that basic, and it worked. So I again, I'm maybe talking out of, you know, I'm letting. He didn't say this to me, but I made this observation. It's hard to get back in after
Well, it's
that.
a perfect storm scenario. It's like, you know, Aaron is stronger than most, right?
Yeah.
And for his size,
Aaron's got gorilla strength.
You know,
Aaron is a former
like,
break dancer on top
like,
of
holy
it.
shit, I don't know, you know, I wasn't ready for that, you know, because he's, you know, you don't realize how, you know, he's so strong for being.
Yeah.
I'm glad you of all people are saying that.
So
you're strong yourself.
So we go back to
without a harness. He just hands and
we go back to Alex. I interrupted you, Alex. What happened? What else? He hurt your shoulder?
That was my neck. Just the pressure. Just
trying to muscle out of it.
Yeah, just trying to muscle. Just trying to really fight. I'm not
the same
tapping to the triangle. We're going, you know, we're going at it a little bit, especially Alex.
Yeah.
You know, he definitely pushes me.
Stuff now. He's been there. What? Has he been there since like he's like 5, 6 years old? Yeah. So he's been like training longer than me. He's like 19-year-old purple belt. I mean, he's probably on the cusp of
MMA when he was like 9, I believe.
That is true. Before he started doing jiu-jitsu, right? Yeah,
and,
that's right.
When he started training, when my son started training, when he was like 10 years old or 11, Alex, that was when Alex started training.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a good 7-8 years with Felipe.
Yeah. How about you? You're injured right now.
Oh,
but you said
but not because of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, you.
I've been injured multiple times, all because of my own stupidity, except for one.
Are you just being nice, or did people hurt you? Did I?
Literally.
Have I ever? No, I've never.
You might have contributed to an injury getting worse because I was a knucklehead and wanted to roll while I was injured.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Good introduction. Actually, Diego not because he was being reckless, but he had back control really tight, and he was listening to Professor. Professor said stretch him out, and he stretched me out, and I could feel my rib go right in that moment. So Diego's the only one that's directly injured me, but it wasn't because of anything reckless. It was because he had very tight back control.
On that Felipe front, when I was a blue belt. And there was a guy there. I don't know if anybody remembers Steve. You got to remember Steve. Sorry, Steve. Stinky Steve. He was the stinky guy at the time. Super nice guy, Steve. Steve was really nice. He wound up moving to California, but he had the stinky gi. Like we would see him roll up his gi and put it in the trunk. Like, and we know that it stayed there until the next class. Yeah, and he wasn't washing it. You know, when it's brown, you know it's not getting washed.
So what did
it was white and then it turned brown?
How would you describe the smell?
Just like time, like we've all like, you know, you could just come with a clean gi and by the end of it, it stinks.
Sure.
Like times that by 10 and just think of like the moldy smell that it gets from the
man just never washed his gi after
man,
the
like
trunk.
No, like you feel like you see him put it in the trunk when he leaves and then he comes back like the next day or a couple days later.
That's the only way to get Milton off his back.
Yeah. Wait. So that the worst, maybe besides when me rolling with you, but this will make sense in a second. I was rolling with him and I had him in a toe hold. And Felipe's walking around the room, and I was I think I was a blue belt at the time, and we hadn't learned a lot, but I just I grabbed it, and Felipe's goes, finish him! Swear to God, like that. It was like he was walking the room, and he was just like, come on, finish him! And I popped his I can't say that it broke it, but yeah, he was out. He was out for.
He didn't mean literally, Milton.
Yeah. You know, but I was just like, okay, so I had it, and I'm like, I'm going to stay here because I don't want to. I didn't really understand what I was doing because I hadn't done it enough, and yeah, just popped it, and that was like the worst. I think that's the worst one that I ever gave anybody, maybe besides your knee. But that was like that was mutual. We're going to get to that one.
Okay.
We're going to get to that one. We're going to get to that one. How about you, Mauricio? Anybody? What's your worst injury and who was it? Point fingers.
Well, my worst injury was when I first began to train. I was nobody's fault. I just didn't have enough core strength because it was just a beginner, and I bruised my ribs, and I never felt so much pain the next day. And then I kept on training, and I bruised the other side. I called Felipe. It was like I was freaking out, and I have no knowledge about jiu-jitsu or anything like that. And I just called professor. I was like, my ribs are killing me. And he's like, oh, this is just normal. It's very common to happen in the beginning. Don't worry about it. Go away after a couple of days. Just be careful. And I kept going class and just watching people training, not necessarily like rolling. But I had a really funny one that happens with me and Alex, the older Alex, the barber.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened that day. He was doing one of his, flipping, jumping. Like Alex is like a former like break dancer, and he kicked me in the eye somehow, and I had like a black eye, and I stayed home for like a couple of days, but my eye is still like very like swollen, and I made a mistake going to class the next day. And Felipe has a great time making fun of me the whole class. Every time like he will finish like to show like a move or something, and then he would look at me and blink. So that was a pretty fun class, but nothing seriously. Like I always like try to protect myself, like especially when I'm go against like a bigger guy like yourself,
What are you saying?
But I always try to keep everything together and try to protect myself.
So we talked about weight loss before. You lost a whole bunch of weight with jiu-jitsu, right?
I did. I was almost 220 when I started.
Yeah.
And I have like a before and after. My very first day versus like 6 months, and you can see like the difference. Like it's amazing.
So your heaviest was what?
220, I would say.
Pre-jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, pre-jiu-jitsu.
And what do you weigh now?
I'm 185 now.
Sweet.
I was 260 the first day I walked down to a jiu-jitsu mat.
Really?
But yeah, what happens?
I weighed myself before like a hard training, like especially like before open mats, and it's 3 to 4 pounds like per training. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think I know anything else that does that. Like maybe running. But the amount of weight that you lose doing this is amazing.
The sweat. We come out of there soaking wet.
Fun fact: you look younger back then too.
What, heavier?
No, just younger. Oh, just younger.
I mean, if it was 7 years ago, of course I look younger. Duh.
So injury. What was your worst injury?
I got a long list of stuff.
Go ahead. Let's know. We got time.
Injuries from our school or injuries from pre?
What's your worst? What was your worst injury?
I ever had was back at Top Team. This is back in 2006. This is about a year, a little after when I first started. I was training MMA. I was in the cage. I was going somebody at the time. Like I said, I was like 250, 260 for a long time back then. And I think. Around that time, I was probably like 230. I had lost some of the weight, but I was in the cage training. And I had somebody like in a guillotine, kind of had him folded up against the cage. I had one coach saying to do one thing, like to fold him up or sit back, something. Anyhow, my arm was wrapped up. The guy sat back, and I spiked my head into the mat.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, I literally felt like I got struck by lightning. I cracked a vertebrae. I smushed like 3 discs. Ugh. The whole deal, ambulance, the whole
for every level.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't train for, I don't know. I tried to train maybe 6-8 months later.
What level were you at? Were you
blue belt?
You blue belt?
Blue belt. Yeah.
Okay.
Back then at Top Team when I first started, you couldn't. They didn't let you train no gi. And then the MMA really you couldn't do either of those until you had a blue belt.
Okay.
So when I first started, I was like so crazy hooked. And I had my own business. I used to own a sports bar back then, so I had a lot of time. And Laborio kind of took me under his wing because I was helping out fighters with sponsorship and whatnot. So I was training 2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day. So I got my blue belt really quick, like I would say 4 months.
And you had boxed before all of this?
Yeah, I had a lot of combat, boxing training and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so I got my blue belt really quick. And when I got my blue belt initially, I just kind of tossed it to the side, and I almost stopped training gi. Almost at that time, just primarily was training no-gi, MMA, because I wanted to fight MMA. At the time, I was, 37, 38, and I wanted to get a couple MMA fights in. And when I was training MMA when I jacked my neck up. But, that really, really threw me off. I couldn't train. For years, I really was on and off after that because of that injury. But that was definitely the worst one.
What's the worst at our school?
Probably when you tore my LCL in half.
It's always you, Milton.
No.
Back to Milton.
So, did I do it to you, or did you do it to yourself? Though I mean, no.
I don't know. It's one of the things like like the legs were, you like I was on my back and you were doing something. You were passing guard and you kind of just pushed my leg across, and it just kind of bent. It
was like a stack pass. It was a stack pass. So his leg was up here, and
it kind of just bent.
I needed to shrug it off. So I went to go shrug it off, but it like didn't go. Like I guess now I think right.
I think you pushed.
I shrugged, but it didn't
Yeah.
come across like it was supposed
But
to.
anyway,
He was pushing on it
loud enough
hard.
that everybody on
Yeah.
the mat heard it. Remember, it was like
It was.
instantly,
I think I heard
everybody
it
in the mat
pop.
was like, ah!
Yeah.
And yeah, that threw me off for a while. But actually, it wasn't like
I'm so careful when I do that
horrible.
now. I still do it, but I'm like super careful to like push it out, like
yeah, I
to
didn't think- I
make
didn't-
sure
I didn't
that it's
get surgery
clear.
or anything. My meniscus
Yeah.
was fine. I just had that like a 50% tear in my LCL, and that kind of healed up on its own after. And I think I was out for like 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
I came back, yeah. And then a year later, I tore my meniscus on the right knee, which was earlier this year, right? When that was, I think January, February.
Yeah.
I had the surgery in January, I think.
Is that like you had surgery, like you were there 2 days later, like on the mat?
I mean, pretty much. I came back way
Like,
too early.
I'm healed.
Dude,
I'm good.
I literally fought at Pans 7 weeks to the day after I had the meniscus.
I told you
surgery.
not to do that, man.
I
You shouldn't have done that.
I was
man.
heavier, and I was in the weight class above what I should have been into. But I had like committed to that date, and I just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but,
The funny for
needless to say, I got my butt kicked, but I was a little unprepared, I think.
the injury sucked. That whole situation sucked. I really didn't know you that well back then. But the funniest thing about that afterwards, I don't know if you remember this. I came in, you were hurt, you're sitting off to the side, you were there. Rocco, I guess, had come off of the mat, or like he was there with you. And Rocco, like, basically looked at me and like threatened me. Like, little Rocco, how old is he?
My son, he's 10. He was
And
probably 9 then, right?
Yeah, probably 8 or 9. And he was just kind of like, yeah, we're gonna do it to your leg next. Like he said that. He said something along the lines. I forget the exact word. He was just like, and he didn't really know me. Like that was like pretty close after COVID.
Yeah.
So like you started during COVID, right? You
Yeah,
started
I
our school
started
during
during
COVID. So I was out
were
during
out.
COVID.
Yeah.
So I had come back. That he's in the, your son's in the kids
you
program.
initiated
You were,
me, and
yeah.
You were like, oh, a new guy at the
Yeah,
gym.
yeah.
Here, let me
So-
fold your leg in half.
So Rocco basically like threatened me, like, oh yeah, we're gonna get your leg now.
It's like Rocco's origin story.
Yeah. And I was just like, I looked at him, I was just like, I felt so bad, but it was just like, I was like, man, he really thinks like, I was like maliciously.
He hasn't forgot about it. He's been training, he's been fighting.
Now he
competing.
smiles when he sees me, Now, I think
What's behind the
we're
smile?
okay, but he's gonna. I
Yeah,
don't know
you
how,
think he forgot.
yeah. when he's like a 17-year-old, 16-year-old blue belt, he's gonna come for me.
Every time he gets in the cage, you're his muse.
Yeah.
Dude, that's my dad.
Do you guys like that? That's funny because like, I mean, at least for competing, like I have to like be angry. Like when I did compete again, I don't come down like I compete now, but when I did compete, I had to be angry. So I would use something like I would always think of like somebody trying to hurt my family or my daughter. I would think about my daughter. I'm like, that person's trying to like hurt my daughter. Like I would go into that mindset and like I had to be angry. Do you feel like that? Like I had to think of something to be angry. I don't know.
It's not angry. It's not for me. It's not angry. It's I go into the fight knowing like this guy's trying to hurt me. He's trying to get me to tap.
Yeah.
So if I don't do it to him, he's gonna do it to me.
Yeah.
So
What do you guys
that
think
kinda gets
about?
me going.
What do you guys think about like the whole like there's this whole like I know I say it a lot like you stop trying to win practice, and I know Felipe kind of says it, but it's like that's hard, right?
I want
Right,
to win
Tommy?
practice.
Like right, it's hard to because everybody's not of that same mindset, and even sometimes it's just like some people are just a little tougher to deal with, and it's like Shar is probably a good example. Like Shar he's just a strong dude. He's good at this.
Yeah.
And my 50% is not his 50% are different, right?
Right,
His
yeah.
50% is probably like my 100, right? So you get into those, but like, when you go in there, how hard is it for you to not have that mindset? Like, I don't want to, none of us want to lose, right? We don't want to lose even when we're in practice.
Yeah,
How
so
how hard is it to not have that mindset?
I mean, here's the thing, right? So, like, when I'm in there, I'm always trying to remember, like, we all have stuff to do tomorrow. Like, you have to go to work. I'm not trying to hurt anybody by any means. And my thing is like, I don't want to do anything stupid to cause an injury or, just trying to do something that I don't know. So if I'm learning something for the first time, and taking it easy, But yeah, I mean, I get crushed by Char all the time.
Who's your toughest role?
My toughest role?
Who's your toughest role? When you're like when you're there, when you're you're like, oh fuck, this is gonna be rough.
I mean, I would say probably. I mean, obviously the higher belt, but maybe the one I'm in competition with the most would be Aaron.
Yeah.
Because we both kind of started around the same time, and I know
there's no flow when you're rolling with him.
It's usually
They say they
long as
try.
they're watching
They try
too.
when they first start.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like flowing with Ray. You've like, we're gonna flow it. It may start a little soft, but there's no
5
flow.
seconds you're flowing.
Oh, wait, I didn't go over my, now that I was, Tommy was talking. My worst injury was the one with Felipe, and my most recent injury is from you. It's from you with with that, what the hell do you call that?
Scarfold?
The
Scarf
scarf,
hold
but
with the
when
grab the
the scarf
leg.
was okay,
You
but when you
fold.
grabbed the leg, and I was just
Sorry
like,
about that.
and then you connected the hands.
Don't be
when
sorry.
Ray was off
Thanks,
to the
Ray.
side coaching you.
Yes, yeah.
So,
Fancy Ray.
Yeah, I didn't tap. I probably should have tapped, but yeah, my neck is still fucked up from that. My neck, like my shoulder was already here, but now like the neck and the shoulder injury, whatever's going on here, is connected. I just went to the
told me to
massage
do it.
therapist for it the other day again.
Rocco told
What's
me.
that? Yeah, Rocco. Yeah, Rocco sicked you on me.
Yep, that's what it was, man.
This has been my longest, other than the actual knee rehab. This has been my longest to like not go away.
How long ago was that?
It's got to be a couple of months now.
Really?
Yeah.
2-3 months.
It wasn't. I mean, I should have tapped. It was more of a crank.
Your ego got in the way.
It was more of a crank. Like it's like a crank. You know, he's got my leg and the head, and he got there. And I honestly, ego, I was just like, once I saw Ray coaching him, I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm tapping to this. There's no way. I'm going to lose to 2 people. I'm gonna give both of these guys the satisfaction. He's gonna tap me for the first time, and Ray's gonna be like, "Gotcha."
Which you could have done.
Yeah, he taught him that move.
You could have coached him through it yourself from being in the.
I should have done that. Then he would have been like, "Yeah, connect the hands, connect the hands. Great, good job." No, does anybody do that to you guys? I don't know if I'm guilty.
I mean, you might do it to me. I don't know.
What that? Oh, like coaching you through
Sometimes
something?
sometimes you coach me through things, but it's usually genuinely trying to help.
Yeah, no, but I don't think there's ever been like,
No.
you got me in something
Not that I'm aware
precarious,
of, no.
and then I'm like, yeah, you got it, go. Like,
He's never this nice to me, just for the record.
me?
He's the only person I know who does belly chokes. Just saying.
Belly choke? Oh. You got the old, the neon sternum.
North-south.
Felipe, Mauricio loves the neon sternum.
No, I don't.
You want to do the neon sternum? Do it
You
for
tapped me with
nose.
that blue belt promotion.
Did I?
Yeah, when we had to do that gauntlet, and I'm gassed. You come in just neon.
I think I was the last one too, right?
Yeah, last
I was
one,
so happy that I was the
breathe.
last one. I was so happy that I was the last guy. I was like, oh, thank God, I don't gotta go. You know, you're a tough role, man. We talk about it. There was this guy that rolled with us. He's still in the game. His name was Ouch. His name was Ouch. It was like, what's his real name?
It's a short for Altieres, so we
It's a
call
Brazilian
him
name,
Ouch.
right?
Yeah, and the neon chest was. His
I think
main
that was
game.
his name. That was his thing. First of all, his name was Ouch. Before we didn't name him Ouch, that was what he came in with.
Nicest guy ever, but you.
Yeah, sweetheart of a guy. Smile at you while he's crushing your sternum. But he would go from a really nice neon belly and a gi, right? Really nice neon belly to boom, knee right on the sternum. Everybody, there's no way to not tap to it. He was just really like tall, strong. It was horrible.
And now we got that reach under, grab the pants. You know that might.
Yeah, I had one of there's a kid that I coached at my first gym. That's at our gym. This kid, another Alex. He's like a yellow and black belt now. And I actually rolled with him last night. I trained with him and his dad. And the last time I rolled with him, because he's doing the adults class now. Esteban kind of coached him how to do it, and he tried to hit it on me last night. And I'm like, "Where's he going with this hand? Because you're like going under the freaking ass." And he got it, and I'm like, "Oh." It's good. It was that's a good, like a reversal.
It is nice, especially when they don't. They're like, "What's going on?"
Because it's really strange. You're like, if you don't know that it's coming, you're like, "Why is this guy grabbing my ass?" Basically, you're going right under,
right under the foot to the ass.
That's a good one. So what were we talking about? What were we saying? The neon sternum. Yeah, neon sternum is bad. Neon neck is even better.
Yeah,
that's usually
the cyborg neon neck.
That's for me. The neon neck is reserved for when you're getting. I'm saying this because it sounds so cocky when I'm saying it. If somebody's being a dick in a roll, I won't name any names, but like if somebody like is being stupid or being overly aggressive or trying to like throw fucking wrist locks, that's when I like, okay, I'm just going to remind you of the like what we say, like there's levels. That's usually when I do it.
It's a
I
bigger
mean, it's not
fish.
like I'm doing it to like a Ray or like a higher
Doing
belt.
it
It's
to
not.
me, and by process of elimination, the only thing I can think of is I've been stupid. But
Yeah, there's
so
definitely.
what's my punishment, Milton?
The reason why I would do it on you is like when you get on top and you got like
I try
really
to hold
really
on
good
'cause
top.
I wanna stay
no,
there.
but like you might do some top
yeah.
pressure where my head's gonna pop off,
Right,
and I'm
right.
like, okay, motherfucker, I'm gonna sweep you at some point. And
But I
and
only
then
do
I'll
that
it.
because you're
but
jabbing my
But
rib.
with those moves, you got to be smart enough to not throw them.
Right.
You
Of course, yeah,
gently
yeah.
put you like I've never been
like, hey,
like,
my knees hurt.
like I do it and increase the pressure
Yeah.
until hopefully you're gonna tap.
Right.
Not I think the first time I did the knee on chest him, I probably did that in like a little bit of anger or like being aggressive.
as I was just a white belt when he did it to me.
Nah, really?
Yeah, back in the
No.
old school, you know. and I
He sent me the funniest picture.
remember.
First of all, he was legitimately upset with me.
I was.
He was mad at me.
He's
He
still
let me
upset,
know
by
it.
the way.
He's still sore about it. After he got over it a little bit, he wound up sending me a picture. There was just like this picture of a guy with a hole in his chest, what is it, concave? What do you call it? Concave?
Yeah.
Concave, like a hole in his chest, basically. And he's got that saved on his phone because he sends it to me every once in a while. But he was legitimately upset with me, and I probably did it once or twice, and now like we have an agreement. He's like, I'm not gonna do that.
I'll send the meme to you later so you can add to the video.
Just cave this chest in.
What's your Tommy go-to move?
My go-to move, the head and arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that was like the very first one that I ever hit.
Is that did Ray did you learn that from Ray?
Yeah.
From him doing it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who'd
yeah.
you hit it on?
You're like,
It's the very first one you hit. Who'd you hit it on?
I don't even remember. Dude.
Oh, okay. No tap and
Honestly,
tell.
I'm not sure. But yeah, no, that's kind of been my favorite go-to.
yeah.
You know.
As soon as he starts coming across, you sort of just jamming that head under your arm, like, oh, he's trying it again.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, you got a couple of those moves that I'm like, oh no, I'm not going. I'm not gonna let you do that. What's your go-to?
Lately, those lapel chokes,
Yeah.
bow and arrow, cross
Oh,
collar.
lapel.
Try-
Mauricio's had just lapels.
Yeah, try to get. Especially like you guys, try to take your back. I mean, you guys are too strong for me to try to stay in front of you. To try to get to the back and lapel choke.
Justin, what's your go-to? What's your
go-to
favorite?
is- I'm happy when I get a sweep. But
Yeah.
after that, sometimes I get a hand and arm choke, and that's my favorite too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mauricio is we call just so hold on before you say anything, so everybody knows, we call Mauricio the Wizard because he's a lapel wizard. He's definitely a connoisseur of the lapel choke.
Well, the reason I like the lapels is because it's hard to fight like people that are much stronger than you, especially in our gym. We have a lot of those older guys. They like like this one here, like they're really strong.
He's tiptoeing through this one.
Lapels just give you more of a grip. It's harder for the other person to break. I don't really have like a favorite move. I'm just trying to
You like
survive.
you did it? Did you do that on me yesterday? You did the
I've been using a lot.
Ezekiel.
He loves the Ezekiel lately.
I do love the Ezekiel, but the ones I've been using a lot is the arm triangle because I can get it from the bottom or from the top.
Yeah.
You love that one.
I like
you're
it.
hiding their face, and he just reaches behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sometimes you can even like you can get it from when people are like passing your guard,
That
and
on me all the time.
I got smashed so much when I first started training. I was so bad at this. I'm still bad at this. I'm not saying I'm good, but I'm only
Listen, that never goes away. That feeling never goes away.
I'm competing against myself, for the records. I'm competing against myself. Like, to me, like, from when I first started training jiu-jitsu, from what I am right now, I'm so proud of myself. And, like, from
Mauricio,
most...
I'm proud of you, too, bro.
Thank you.
Nobody told you
Thank
today.
you.
I'm proud of you.
From all the people that actually started with me back then, like, I'm, like, one of the survivors.
You're
you
it,
know?
right? I think you're not one. You're it, right?
I think I'm the only one.
I mean, people have moved and they still do jiu-jitsu and they're in other places,
Yeah.
but as far as still at our school, there's still only a handful of those, but
yeah,
you're
and I
like
was
the only one from your class that went from white to blue,
I was
right?
the one that everyone said, this guy's going to quit. This guy's not going to last here because I was so like weak, I didn't do no exercise, I was no sports, I've never been into sports. I just fell in love with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I don't really like to do anything else. So it's basically like just trying to survive. And so I get smashed like so bad at the beginning. And I remember you told me, you sent me this video on YouTube, and it shows like 20, 30, 40 submissions from the bottom.
Oh, I love those Jason Scully videos.
Yes,
love
that's what it was,
them.
and and I started looking like maybe I should have learned like how to do things from the bottom. So
Yeah.
if it's hard to get out of the bottom, just learn to do submissions from the bottom. So I've been kind of working on that, And this is the reason why I liked the arm triangle, just for the fact that you can get it from the top, you can get it from the bottom.
You got me in an Ezekiel the other night, right?
I did, but I don't think you tap. I think you managed to break it.
I think I just wound up like you on. Didn't I like kind of push up on your face a little bit?
I couldn't close the angle.
You had it. It was tight.
I couldn't close the angle.
It was tight. That was probably like a Tommy thing. Like, yeah, I probably should have tapped and we could have restarted.
Yeah,
but,
you could have swallowed your ego
because
a
I
bit.
fucked with you so much about the lapels. There was no way that I could tap to that because of the not that. I mean, that's not a lapel choke, but because I've messed with you so much on that stuff, I was just like, I can't tap to this. And I think I just gave you like a stiff arm to the neck and pushed you away.
Yes, that's exactly what you did.
You were like,
it was too far away from you. I couldn't close the angle, just to get like a tighter.
I think I swept you, and then I got on the top. And
yes, you did. Yeah.
So. Yeah, I fucked with you so much about it because honestly, when you first started doing the lapels, you were really bad at it.
Yes,
but
I still am.
But this is the bad part, though. The bad part was that you kept on doing it and putting the lapels over like our faces, and that's fun. You're like scratching our faces, and you should like, as a good partner at the time. This is a long time ago. As a good partner, you should have been letting those go, like I did with Felipe. I was wrenching it across his face, and I paid for it. You should have recognized, like, I don't have this, let me let it go. Instead, it was just like lapel across the face. So I would get mad at you, and that's why I started really fucking with you about it. But you've gotten really good at them.
Thank you.
Hold on. You've gotten better at them.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Has anybody here tapped to one of his lapel chokes? I don't know. I get.
He got me with an Ezekiel like not too long ago. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Ezekiel?
I think you're the only one who hasn't.
So I'm gonna officially stop fucking with you about it because you did give me a nice Ezekiel. So now I gotta respect it now.
Thank you, Milton. You just made my day.
But okay, but that means that I also get to reintroduce the neon sternum, right? I mean that's fair, right?
Don't complain about. Just don't bitch about the wrist locks.
Yeah, you're the one that kind of like everybody's doing that thing that way. You kind of catch the arm. There's not a name to it, but
yeah, I don't know if there's a name for.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? Like if you just kind of give.
Yeah, he's been called the mousetrap. I don't know that.
Yes, like he locks your arm up and then kind of.
I did not invent that. I just learned from the internet.
Yeah, it's a good like get somebody to stop trying to grab your lapels if they're in your guard. I mean, you could really do it from anywhere, but it's just like a really good.
Every time
you reach out, you reach out.
I'm not going to say any names, so you always have that person like you when you roll with him and he grabs you and and just keep holding you.
I know what you're talking about. He grabbed my nipple the other night. I was like, bro, please let go of my nipple.
So
he had the whole. I was just like.
Usually, especially if the person is inside your close guard, and that would avoid him for trying to grab your sleeves because you can just flip on the wrist lock.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. I mean, that's the only reason I started doing it, just because of that person. Yeah. Always just grabbing the arms and not letting him go.
What about you? Your go-to? We went around. I know you.
Move?
Meathead jiu-jitsu.
I have to say, I think, what I've really come to love, because it was such a hole in my game, I think, from the bottom, is I love the whole half guard sweep series that we're doing.
Okay.
The whole Felipe, folding the leg, all that. Because it was a weak spot in my game. I had a couple of little sweeps, but they were never great, from there. But now, I feel so comfortable just pulling somebody down into half.
Yeah.
And I, could sweep almost at will,
Okay.
As far as submission-wise, I don't know. I know you want me to say armbar, but I mean, I guess.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that every time we ask you, you never say armbar. But I feel like that's the thing that you're super fast with it. You can get it from a lot of different places. And look, this isn't a diss, but at our age, it's usually you're not moving that fast, and you can go spin around and do that spinning armbar. I'm like, how's he fucking doing this? He's older than me.
I would say collar chokes for you, dude. That's what you used to me. At least to me, and it's always like collar chokes.
Oh, the collar chokes? Yeah.
What is that thing that you do with that? Like a half Nelson? Like if I'm on my side, you do, what is that? Is that a half Nelson?
I don't even know what the hell it's called. But come around the head and just kind of get
you
that
get this arm. You get this far on. You're on top here. Yeah. I hate that.
And that kind of sets you up because it pulls your shoulder off the mat for arm bars and stuff too. So.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you don't say it because you're so good at it. Remember we had that conversation. We were like, because I feel like my go-to move is like getting the lockdown and sweeps or like the north-south, and you're like, I don't have a go-to. And then he threw like fucking 5 arm bars on me on the next roll, and I'm like, dude, that's your move. And I was watching him do it on other people. He's constantly throwing that arm bar. I'm like, you have a movie. I don't know. Why don't you realize that that's your move?
Like that was like S mount.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was because arm bars are just like look, you can get the arm bar from here, but we never just work arm bars,
if I
right?
can slide up high and I get to S mount, I feel like totally like great and dominant there. Like I love back or just do it from the top or
I love I'm working on a lot like if I like sometimes I do go in and I'm like I try to pick something like I'm going to try to work on this if I can mix it in it's just like the sitting on somebody's chest and get like being in the S mount and getting the really I'm looking for the arm bar but like getting the S mount getting under their head
just tucking it up under
and I'm not good I'm usually not able to get to cross my legs but just getting it just leaning across and then getting the arm stuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? I think did I sit on you the other night like that? Yeah. I did it with you. That trying to get better at that. I'm trying to feel. Can I really lock my leg? I just feel like it's difficult. You know, it's hard. Anybody have Anybody have anything they want to talk about? Anybody have any questions? We're gonna go into our like.
Actually, I do have something.
Yeah, sure.
So I guess starting with you, what do you think is your weakest aspect of jiu-jitsu right now?
Takedowns. But takedowns, you know, my take on takedowns is that it's very hard to drill those because that's when a lot of people get hurt. I have a couple of go-tos, but like when I say takedown, like I pull guard a lot because I'm usually the bigger guy, and if I take you down, I'm going to land on top of you. Maybe some of the guys here excluded because you guys are bigger, but it's usually when people get hurt, right? You know, an ankle gets caught, or I fall on you and a rib, and so it's hard. I do have like certain ones that I like to do, other than pulling guard. Like I definitely like to I grab the same side, lapel and arm, and I sweep you this way and trip.
Yep.
You know, but again, I've had people fall like literally hit their face, and it's like, oh man, I feel bad doing that. If we're going to compete, that's one thing. Right? If you're going to compete and I'm rolling with you, then hey, you better know what's coming.
Right.
But for just like a hobbyist, I feel bad doing that. So I'm usually going to pull guard. That's why I pull guard so much.
Okay, yeah.
But definitely that's the weakest because I don't work it as much. I wrestled a tiny bit in high school, in junior high. I just wrestled for like 2 years. So like, you're doing double legs and single legs. Like I'm super comfortable doing that. Like we don't really work on even doing just the shoots. Like a lot of schools will just do the shoot down the mat, like just the same way we shrimp down the mat or do rolls, right? They'll like, okay, do your double legs. And I mean, we don't really even do that. But again, you want to compete, there's a competition class and you can go work on that stuff, but I'm not doing that. So that's definitely my weakest because I'm not doing it all the time.
And leg locks too, probably, right?
Yeah, leg locks, but with that too, I think I find myself in those positions, but I watch a lot of the Jason Scully stuff, and I'm consuming things to teach myself how to be in those positions and defend, even if we're not running it in school a lot. I'm watching that stuff and I'm trying to like learn a little bit, but you got to be doing it to really truly learn it. I get that too. What about you?
So if that's your weakest point, takedowns or even leg locks, I guess in this case, we can use leg locks as the example. Do you ever come into the gym knowing that's something you want to work on and you make it a point to anytime you can, you do the specific movement that you're trying to do?
So
whatever it might be?
There are some times that I'm absolutely going in there trying to work on something. Like I've gone in there, like even right now we're doing like a closed guard series. I've been doing nothing, but there are 2 Jason Scully videos. It's like part 1 and part 2. He recorded them years apart. I should probably share them to you. No, it's closed guard techniques, like from the bottom, actually top and bottom closed guard techniques.
Okay.
But all I do is I put like on Saturday and Sunday, I have a coffee and a banana before I go. I don't eat breakfast because I don't like going on a full stomach. I have coffee, banana. I got my massage gun and I'm watching those videos and I just keep on playing them until I'm ready to leave. And it's like 55 closed guard techniques in 7 minutes. And it's not about learning all of them. It's about going, I'm always there. And then I hyper focus on that one. And that's when I'll go, I'm going to try that today.
So you'll pick 1 or 2 out that you'll try for the day
know,
or
like,
whatever.
Man, I keep on winding. Because of something else that we're training,
Right.
I might go, I keep on winding up here when we're doing that. That's where I should be going. And then I'll try to do that. With the leg lock stuff, like I definitely go for a lot of ankle locks. Because we worked on that, we worked on some entries, and then I was more comfortable doing it. That's the leg lock I go to. I was talking to Omar the other night. He was like, he likes to like invert, and he grabs that leg to do do a knee bar, right? He does that all the time. He's probably done it to everybody here. And I've looked at like, how do I defend that? And I'm like trying to like, when he goes under, I try to get him in a cradle, or like there's like, I'll work on that. Sometimes it's specific to the person. Like I know that he does lapels. I got to make sure I'm defending lapels.
Right.
He likes to do the armbar stuff. Stay tight, keep my arms close, right? So like sometimes it's individual. Sometimes it's maybe not on purpose, but I just, I do watch a lot of stuff, but sometimes it's not on purpose. I go in and I go, oh, this guy's doing that. Ding, ding, ding. The thing goes off in my head. Oh, I know what to do here. And then I start to work on that with that person. So sometimes it's on purpose, and sometimes it's just like, oh,
just realizing in your overall game, you're usually there.
Yeah, like Omar cannot get that on me anymore. Omar can't do it the way that he used to. So he's got to work on like, all right, everybody's figuring me out. Like, how do I get into this, or what's the other thing I have to do? Because now I know when he goes under, now I just get him in a cradle.
Right.
When he starts to invert, I'll get him in a cradle, and then it's just completely stuffed. So, that's me. Awesome. Anybody else? Do you watch a lot of stuff? You're always sending stuff. Yeah, you do watch a lot of stuff because you're always sending.
I see a lot of stuff. I keep a little log of stuff that I keep on from Instagram stuff that I'll go through. Sometimes I'll watch it a few minutes before I go train or something. But
yeah,
it's always different stuff though.
Who watches it? Who watches a ton? Is everybody like?
For sure.
Yeah. Is anybody like buying instructionals, or is it more just like the 30-second 1 minute Instagram stuff?
Pirating instructionals?
You didn't.
No,
we'll bleep
I
that
don't
out.
pirate
But anyway,
instructionals, ever.
I've purchased one instructional. And I am a member of the Grappler's Guide. It's like you pay $99, and it's like you get for life. And there are a lot of famous. But I even logged into it because I consumed. Grappler's Guide. I like those. I'm more about the 55 moves in 7 minutes, because then I can pick something out versus like you have to watch it and then practice that thing, right? If you're going to watch an instructional, you have to then go either pause, grab a grappling dummy or a partner, and then do it. In my mind, that's the way I look at it. I have to now do it, but I can pick something out of like, okay, I'm usually there. Let me go work on that position. That's what works for me. Maybe that's not for everybody, but for instructionals, for me, the only instructional I ever bought was Marcelo Garcia's North-South.
My cousin.
Because I love that North-South so much. I was like, give me more. I wasn't getting enough from the free stuff. That was the only one that I've ever purchased from BJJ Fanatics.
I bought Wagner's the 50-50 the arms years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple years ago, I bought Hodger Gracie, his whole series. And that, to me, is like gold.
Yeah.
The Hodger Gracie stuff, because, especially because I'm old now, and, I'm not going to be doing a lot of the fancy stuff, even though somehow I get called Fancy Ray. I don't know.
Felipe threw that out one day, and now it just stuck.
Yeah. But
Fancy Ray.
because Hodger Gracie,
He likes to do that
if you ever
fancy
watch
stuff.
any stuff, it's such like direct,
Basics, right?
simple, basic stuff.
Ray, have you ever followed Tom DeBlas? Do you watch any of his? Because he's got like an old man series too.
That's specifically, it was actually called like Old Man Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would say, going back to the grappler, if you are an instructional person, I don't think that you could do any better than, I think it's still like $99. Grappler's Guide is $99 lifetime.
Oh, no kidding.
And you log in, and he's got like 3 different ones, because there's a striker's guide, there's grappler's guide, and then there's like a leg lock one. I believe at least under the grappler's guide, though, it has almost, I think it has all of it.
Multiple coaches, or
It's so he has people come in. He does stuff, but it's mainly like he has people, the same ones that are on BJJ Fanatics. He has a lot of those guys come in. I think he's got famous names in there. I just know it. And you can go in there and get those specific instructionals. And they, I can't say that it's as elaborate as some of the other ones. Like, is it like, John Danaher's 12 hours, probably not. But for $99 to go in and get that same guidance from some of those same guys doing those BJJ Fanatics ones, come on, $99 a lifetime?
I've been consuming a lot of the YouTube content, like Eli Knight.
I love him. We had him on the show.
Yeah, I did see that. And Jordan, we talked a little bit about Jordan.
Yeah.
At the gym, but him, because he gets a lot into the concepts and not so much moves, but just jiu-jitsu theory. And
yeah. So like,
you want to have inside position and underhooks versus overhooks. And all
Do you
those
feel like how do you learn jiu-jitsu? Do you need like, for me, I'm like, I need to know where that foot goes. Like I say, like I'll take something and go to the gym, and you have to work on it. But I do, like, if I'm watching something, I'm looking at, where's his foot? Like Sophia's great with this because she's like, look, you got to put your foot like right here. Like I need that because like sometimes that's like, oh, it doesn't work unless the knee is pointed out that way, right? So do you need that?
I'm big on detail.
Or is it just like, give me the overall move and I'll go figure it out?
I need the details. So I love Danaher so much. He's so into the details.
How about you, Tommy? Like somebody that's newer, how do you like to be instructed? Do you need it to be super specific? Yeah. Like, hey, we're going to do arm bars. This is the way you do it. Go figure it out. Or is it like, no, I need to see, where's the arm? Oh, you're holding the thumb like that? Like,
yeah, no, like the detail is huge. I mean, like when you're grabbing, like the grip, how you turn, how you just everything about it, detailed for me is.
That's why, like sometimes, like especially like with Felipe, I'm like, where was your foot? Like, show me where your foot was.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, right. Sometimes I'm like, because I know, like, I'm not doing something, and I'm pretty positive it's because I don't have my foot turned the right way. Am I right or wrong?
You're correct. I count the steps. If professor is showing a move, and if he's doing in 3 steps, I must do in 3 steps. If I do in 4, I'm overdoing. If I do in 2, I'm not doing it the correct way. Obviously, you can always modify things to your own body shape and size, but I try to be as accurate as possible. Like just count the steps, and it makes a huge difference. I've been actually improving the things that I had difficult doing before, just by doing that, just looking at little details.
Anybody have like a go-to instructor that they like? Do you have
John Danaher? Yeah. I mean, so for me, like I like
instructional because he doesn't really put out.
If you have a lot of time,
not specifically the instructional. Right? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, who doesn't love spending extra time in jiu-jitsu? But I love getting the concept first and then getting the detail afterwards. Because a lot of times, if I just get the detail, I can do it, but I still don't know why it works.
He does do that. He goes concept first, and then he'll go into it.
Correct.
But, man,
I think that's
the
really
thing
useful.
about Danaher is like, man, do I have 20 minutes? To just watch this.
I got one of his free ones, like one of his it's like a free one that was like a basics, and I'm like, when does the jiu-jitsu start? And this is from a talker going, man, this guy talks a lot.
But all those concepts, they help it stick. I've noticed it helps the information stick in my head.
I do like that. It's kind of like the old like hearing it, seeing it, doing it right. So like when you're instructed, like writing it, hearing it, writing it, seeing it, right, like. It is important.
Like I can know the detail, but if I don't know why that detail works,
why am I putting my weight here? Why am I putting my weight here? Oh, because this and this could happen.
I don't see anybody doing this in the gym. Does anybody log or journal? I know like some people like to do that because like
I used to,
yeah. Like what would you journal though? Like what would you actually write down?
When I was injured and I would just come watch class, but I would literally write as many specific details as I could watching Felipe teach whatever move.
Yeah. How about you? No.
The closest thing I do from journaling is just saving videos from the ones I like on social media. Usually, like if I see something like on Instagram or Facebook, I just like it and I subscribe to it so I can keep seeing more. And that's kind of how I learned the wrist lock.
Yeah.
If I see something I like it, I just try to watch like over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
And the next day, I still don't remember half of it, and then I have to do it again.
I like the Eli Knight stuff because Eli Knight, even like in that small, like 1 minute Instagram video, like you can get so much. He really absolutely talks you through every position. I do like these ones where again, maybe it's more random, but they don't talk at all, but they'll be like arm here, like grab this, or like maybe there's some words on the screen like make sure you grab the ankle. Like I do like those too. So you're seeing it and reading it,
Quick bits from, is it Malachi?
Yeah, Malachi. Malachi Friedman, we just had him on.
I didn't really watch too much of it, but lately, the last like month or so, I've been watching more and more of them because what I like them with, they're quick little hits.
Yeah.
They're like, boom, you can watch it 20 seconds, front of the move to the back of the move, done.
Yeah.
So
I think at like our level at Brown, I think it's a great one. Not that you can constantly learn from, but for the amount of time that I can put in outside, I'm still working, I'm still doing other stuff. I like those because I'm like, oh, I especially love like when I see something, I'm like, oh, I'm always there, or I like that move, and now they give me a little nugget. Then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, let me watch that a couple of times. But I think he's really great too. He's definitely a go-to for me now. Not just because I was watching him before we had him on the show, but he's definitely like
Especially now that I know he was he's a
American
L'Oreal
top team guy. Yeah.
So I think him and I didn't really cross paths too much
No.
because it was like during the because I took years off in between,
Yeah.
when I had first started. So he was I think he was there during that period of time when I was off
Mm.
for like 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it was.
Let's go down again to craziest thing that's ever happened on the mat. Think everybody any craziest story let's just say jiu-jitsu related on or off the mat, competition mat, anything? Anyone?
Let me see.
I mean, I was just normal rolling, one day, and I got kicked in the head by the person rolling next to me.
Was it me?
It wasn't you at this time. So this kid was going. He didn't do anything wrong. It was just a freaking accident, And one of those days. There's a lot of people and not too much space, And I felt like his heel just hit me on the head. And then I was like, okay. And then I look on my gi, was covered in blood. I have like 4 stitches, on my head because of that. And I
want a name. I want a name.
I think it was Pedro, Tom's son.
Okay.
He was rolling with Flo, and I don't know what happened. Like I said, it was just a freak accident. I don't think he did anything wrong.
Yeah.
I don't, and poor kid, he apologized to me like a billion times. Like he felt so bad about it. Even days after, he's like, "I'm so sorry." It's like, dude, chill. I know it wasn't your fault. It was just an accident. It happens. But it's just because it was so gore, like so much blood come out of my head. My gi was like covered in blood. And then I went to the clinic, to get stitches. And I come home and my wife looked at the gi all bloody. It's like, oh my God, what happened to you? And that was really weird, just for the fact that was a little cut, but it was something like much worse.
And in situations like that where I've come home with like a black eye or got hit or got hurt, my wife would always be like, why are you doing this?
And you paid to do that,
Yeah. Anybody else, significant other, that's been like, what are you doing?
The first time I came home with a black eye, first of all, it was my first black eye ever, and I was so proud of it.
Yeah.
My wife was like, how do you feel about it? So she didn't hit me with anything initially, and she's like, well, if you need me to, I'll just cover that up so that when you go into work, you're not going to get in trouble. Don't worry about it.
You want everybody to see it.
No, she supported me,
Yeah. But did you were proud of it, right?
I was very proud.
It's like a badge of honor.
Absolutely.
He's like, I want to tell everybody I was fighting.
I had Alan, can you still see that little red mark there?
Yeah.
Alan gave me a straight freaking fingernail into the eye, and it was actually like the next day there was a little bit of a black eye there, and in my honestly, like it's weird. Like I'm like I'm proud of it. Yeah, I'm like he was like I was bleeding. I had to stop. I went to the bathroom just to check it. It was like right into the corner. Like I felt my eye get hit. So I'm like, damn, did he get the nail in my eye?
Good job, Alan.
Contusions. I don't even. It's like that doesn't even like phase me at all.
No, it's kind of weird. It's like when people say like, how do you watching these guys in the UFC get punched? I'm like, you don't understand. Like they don't really care. It actually kind of like you love it
a lot more than it actually.
Yeah,
does.
like you might get a black eye, but it's just like there's times where guys get really beat up, but when I get hit, I'm just like it wakes me up, and I'm just like there's a little part of me that smiles, especially when the guys is like, oh, I'm so sorry, and I'm so sorry. It's probably happened with.
Yes.
I'm like, I love it, man.
No big deal.
Story. I got a story for tomorrow now, right? Like I've never
Battle
been like,
scars.
oh man, my eye is black. Let me cover this up. I'm just like, yeah, man, yeah, right. Battle scars, right?
Yeah.
I'm fucking proud of it.
Absolutely.
Right?
I'm only cool with it until my lips get busted.
What?
Sorry about
Then,
that, Sean.
yeah, when you get hit in the mouth and cutting your lips up. with
Mouth
your
guard,
teeth.
man. I'm like,
Yeah,
I wear the
I
mouth
have to
guard.
invest in one because
I tell you the mouth guard.
pisses me
There's
off.
obviously, I don't want to. I've wore a mouth guard from the very first day. I've never not. If I don't have my mouth guard in, it's because I just forgot it in my bag. I've worn it since day one, and I was just always worried about it. I'm like, I know that I can catch a knee, and I don't want to chip I don't want to freaking have to get dental work, and so I've always worn it. And what have discovered, we've talked about this before, is you can, somebody's choking you because it eliminates the grinding of the teeth from the equation. Like if you're like this and you're biting down because somebody's really choking you, you're not going to tap. You don't have to tap from that. You're biting down on the mouth guard, and am I wrong? Nobody. I don't think any of you guys wear
like
mouth guard.
A nasty crossface, that mouth guard really helps.
You're not grind. It takes the grinding of the teeth out of the equation, and you can last a little longer. So I've been in situations where somebody's like maybe not choking, but like it's like really pushing the teeth in. But I'm like, most people would, if they didn't have a mouth guard, would tap because they're like, fuck, my teeth are gonna be fucking
Last
cracking
time
my
I
teeth.
tried that, I went to sleep. Just saying.
Oh, you've been slept?
Yes.
Have you when recently, right?
Yes, recently. I actually was rolling with him.
He slept. Oh, he slept you.
I was rolling with him, and then I was like, it happened so fast. That was the very, very first time it happened that I actually passed out, baseball choke. And
he knew. He's like, oh, baseball, yeah.
No, I thought I'd been crossed.
I was like, and this is like one of the weirdest thing that ever happens to me at jiu-jitsu, because I started to dream that I was home, and then I opened my eyes and I saw this guy.
He's like, what are you doing here? He said to me,
are you okay? Are you okay? He was just like,
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Make a long story short, like the next day he texted me like right away, like, I'm so sorry, I hope everything's fine, blah blah blah. I was like,
he was standing there with Tommy. He's like, watch this, I'm gonna fucking text this idiot.
Yeah,
Just slept in last night.
I'm pretty sure the whole gang he told the whole gang the next day, but
I don't think I did anything.
Have you ever put somebody to sleep?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever been slept?
Oh man, top
Yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, many times.
Yeah, and you ever slept anybody else besides Mauricio?
At our school, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Tom ever sleepy a little bit or something. I think.
One time.
Tommy got a bad from what's his name?
From Aaron.
Aaron, and he was just snoring. That was really
Oh,
funny.
that's
got-
what it was. It was Aaron, not me. That's
Aaron, you got slept by Aaron?
Same thing as Mauricio. Like, it was
Baseball choke.
I woke up like great. Like I was
Yeah.
out on a boat with my dad or something. Like, I'm like, wake up. I had no idea what happened.
Have you slept anybody yet?
Me, no.
No. Sure.
I'm really good at getting to that where the lights are fading and then I
Yeah.
tap.
Oh, I
Yeah.
learned my lesson, bro. I don't get to that point anymore. I'll
Yeah.
tap, you know what?
I push it to the edge.
Who did it to me the other day was Aaron, actually. The last time I trained, and he's like, oh my God, I'm going to call him out in this one. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm so beat up. I've been up since 3:30 this morning, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, let's do like a flow roll, so let's not try to kill each other, and sorry, dude, I love you, But, and then I realized, like, he's got me in a collar choke, and that was, if I didn't tap for that one, I would have go to sleep again. That was, because he's super strong.
So I've caught on. Aaron is he's one of my favorite people there. He's a great dude.
Yes.
I caught on to the whole this is hurting a little bit. And then I see him fucking flying all over the place with you, and then he comes to me, and I'm just like,
yeah.
oh, I've asked him, I'm like, oh, you hurt? You're hurt, or are you hurt, or what are we doing? What are we gonna do here? Like I've caught that. That's not.
I truly believe that
he's hurt,
Aaron's
but he
case-
doesn't have a slow button. He doesn't have a flow button.
In Aaron's case, I truly believe he just doesn't realize how
Athletic,
how
maybe is it?
strong he is, and how hard he's actually being. I mean, he's a lot better. Remember, when it first started, the first year and a half, he was like, I don't care what you were doing with him, it was going to be brutal and miserable. Like even just doing
when he first
right,
He's done-
even just doing the technique and stuff. I was just like, oh man,
He's done that. He's been like,
so stiff like this. Oh,
I'll be like, hey, you want to roll? He'll be like, oh, and then he goes over there and he's like flying all over the mat with Tommy or somebody else, and I'm like,
Doing cartwheel
son of a
passes.
bitch has avoided me. So I usually I usually let it go with him. But I don't let it go. Like when you try to avoid me, I usually I seek you out. I stalk you. I don't know Aaron that well yet
I
to
have
stalk
a
him.
great strategy, that I've been using. It's been working so far. It's like if it's open mat, I usually roll with Milton first, because the first roll is supposed to flow. So I usually
But I won't. But I caught onto that. I won't flow with you.
I usually go straight to Milton.
I won't flow with you. I won't flow with you on the first one.
That's usually why I get you out of the way early too.
Yeah. Oh, son of a
I
bitch.
actually do.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
Not to let you in on it, but
Good. Oh well, you just did. You let everybody in on it. Now I know. So who does? So I've never been slept, and I don't think I've ever slept anybody. If somebody is, I've let go. I'll I'm just like, I'm like, all right, yeah, you
hear
could be
the-
brave,
you hear
you
the
could be
breathing.
brave, whatever. But I've let go where maybe I could have slept somebody, but I think I've been good at
The
Yeah.
culture
the
at our
walls
school,
are closing in and it's
Yeah.
getting a little dark.
The culture at
And
our
I'm
school
like,
is a lot
I better
different.
fucking
I don't
tap, or
tap,
I'm gonna be foaming at the mouth in a second. I mean, that all happens so
Felipe's always
fast.
saying, "Don't be a hero, just tap, just tap." You know, so
Yeah.
our school, that's our culture.
Don't be a hero.
You know? But
Yeah.
man, I'll tell you, like when we were a top team, it was not that way at all.
Yeah,
No. So
Like if you tap
culture's
yourself,
every yeah,
we
yeah.
were trying to
yeah.
really
Tap or die.
muscle through a lot of shit that you probably shouldn't.
You know, yeah, I've talked that, I've said, and I when I've talked about that, and like I've said hobbyist or something like that, I'm like, but you know what? Don't sleep on the hobbyist, man, because we've got some tough guys. You know, we got some big guys, we got some tough guys, and it's just like just because you say hobbyist or like being that way, look at the injuries.
Yeah.
Right. Look at the injuries that occur. But it's also that culture of, look, we're going to be, a lot of those guys want to fight, or they are
Any
actually
given day
fighters.
At top team, you were on that mat. There was 8, 10 guys from UFC.
Yeah.
Training along, with the regular class.
There is no.
So it was,
was this Coconut Creek top team?
Yeah, HQ.
You wanted to
before it was in that building,
even
right?
Before it was in that building, it was.
You wanted
over
to
on
do
Johnson
jiu-jitsu
Road,
for
the other road,
life.
yeah.
What's that?
You wanted to do jiu-jitsu for life.
Yeah, man. But that's the thing. I think, when I talk about it, I'm saying, does it sound like I'm being a pussy? At the same time, I go, I want to do this for another decade. I'm in 9 years. I want to do this for another decade or more. And I know that I can't do it if I act like that, try to be the hero or go really tough.
Spazzy brown belt.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. I know my limit. Like I'm doing jiu-jitsu for me. I could give a fuck what anybody says about how they want to train. I'm doing it for me, and I know that the only way that I last is if I'm careful, if pulling guard, not trying to hurt other people. But like, also, when you're super aggressive, who do you wind up hurting most of the time? Yourself. You wind up doing something stupid. You're like, oh, fuck, man, what did I do to myself? A couple of you guys said what you said, right? I did it to myself. Right. I did it to myself, right?
Or you end up hurting your friends. We're all friends here.
I don't do knee cuts real hard. You get your leg cut. You get you have a great knee cut. Man, if I try to do that, I'm like, man, and that's I'm going to go to that side. It's going to be my right leg. I've already fucked up that leg. And now I know what it's like to be out 9. I don't have 9 months at 50 years old to be off the mat. To be off, 9 months off and you're at 25. All right, you're probably going to be doing. I think we're all lifers, right? You're going to be like, all right, oh, like shit. I'm going to be doing this for 20 more years. I don't know that I have 20 more years in me, so I want to make sure that I take care of myself as much as possible. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Right?
I think that's why I train so many days now, because I keep thinking about the clock of how much time do I truly really have left.
Yeah. How old are you now?
54.
54? Shit, man, you're fucking old, bro.
So do I got 10 years left? Maybe. I mean, I don't.
But
know.
I think it's how you train. Who did we have? We had somebody. I forget his last name. I'm sorry, Nicholas, not Marigali. We had a recent guest who talked about. He's like, he was Roger Gracie's first black belt. He talked about, he was like, I roll hard maybe 8 times a week. I think he said something like 8 to 10 times a week. I'm rolling hard. I know my body. I know when things hurt, and I'm smart enough to know Gregoriadis. Nicholas Gregoriadis. He's like, I know that that's not sustainable for my body. I know he does like a lot of yoga. He's super active. He's an athlete. And he's like, I'm doing jiu-jitsu and teaching. He's in, going to classes, and he's rolling like 8 to 10 rounds. I mean, even like, Felipe's not rolling with us fucking hard every day.
Felipe doesn't roll me anymore.
I mean,
I don't blame him.
I can't remember the last time I rolled with Felipe. I cannot remember the last time I rolled with Felipe. He's smart. He knows, and look, he also goes to train with Jay-Z, and he goes to Wagner's to train. So it's not like he's avoiding me, the little brown belt, right? Yeah. But he knows, knows where to put his energy in. He knows where to, I'm going to be training here with these guys. But right, he's not rolling with all of us on an open mat or even during regular training hard, right? You see him rolling with Kai a lot, working on new moves. You know, he's rolling, you know, he grabs certain people and he's practicing things, and then he's figuring things out, and then he's teaching us. But I think if you want to be around for a long time, you do have to be careful.
Adolfo gets the hard rolls from him.
Yeah. And he never says no. He'll always roll with him.
He never goes.
But that's the thing, though. You have to make. I think you, as anyone who's doing jiu-jitsu, you have to make a conscious choice of what am I here for, and if it's I'm going to do this to compete, I think your life cycle in rolling hard or being able to do this is limited. You're gonna shorten that. If you're somebody who's like, I want to learn the art and I'm doing it for exercise and weight loss and for mindset, you need to roll a certain way if you want to be around. That's facts. I mean, you could have easily been out for the rest of your life. You essentially broke your neck. Yeah. You could have easily been out. Like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want that. I want to be able to. What's that?
I just go there for the jokes.
Yeah.
He goes there for the chokes.
I thought that's what he was going to say. I go there for the chokes and I go there for the jokes. All right, let's get into we do the if you've listened to the show, we do a bunch of questions that we ask everybody. We might have talked about some of these, but these are like the most asked questions or submitted questions that we get. So we just put them into the end of the show. We're going to go down everybody, so we'll get everybody's take on it. So, Bo,
the drill down.
There you go. Sound effects. High end here. All right, so I'm going to go down everybody. So your preference, gi or no gi?
Gi.
Why?
That's mainly what I've learned in.
Yeah.
I've only done no gi maybe 10 times, 11.
Yeah.
It's not been many.
Gi or no gi? What's your preference?
I would say gi.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I like the idea of just being able to choke somebody with their own clothes.
I like that answer. Gi or no gi?
Gi, just because I do it most often, but I would say no gi probably just because of the movement. There's so much more movement.
Also, gi, I wish I could have trained no gi more often, just for the fact that it's more realistic, like compared to using jiu-jitsu as a self-defense.
Yeah, people have actually been like, oh, no gi because it's more realistic. No, everybody's gonna have some clothes on. Florida maybe a little different because you have maybe not wearing a jacket as often, but in most places in this country, right, it's gonna be fall and winter, and they're gonna have a jacket, and you can be using their clothes,
South
right?
Florida, so no
Yeah. So you preference?
I would say definitely gi. Now, I mean, I would have said no gi, and I trained most of my training had been with no gi when I was early on. But I think now that I'm older, I really wanted to. It's nice to slow everything down.
Yeah.
The fast movement and it's slippery and sliding around. I'm more apt to get hurt.
Yeah.
So the gi slows everything down. Plus, there's just so many other little technical possibilities with the gi.
Yeah.
More options.
So yeah, I think gis.
I like I love going to no gi because we do it less, but Friday, Saturday is our no gi day. So I love going to those classes. So I love no gi. But my preference, because of the control and being able to slow it down and being able to roll at my pace, being able to control somebody. So if I had to only do one for the rest of my life, it would be gi, just because I think age is a big part of that. But I think no gi is super fun. So Tommy, takedown or pull guard?
Pull guard.
Yeah.
Not good at the takedowns. It's definitely a weakness for sure.
Yeah. Sure.
You already know takedowns, man.
Yeah.
That's the wrestler bone in me.
Yeah. I hate when I see you coming, motherfucker.
Get taken down.
What's that?
Get taken down.
Get taken down? Not pull guard, but get taken
Correct,
down.
yes.
Okay.
I never pull guard, so I would say
No,
definitely pull guard. Takedown is definitely one of my weakness. I was trying to avoid the judo fighters, every time I roll with Ricardo, because he's such a big dude. That was if I stand up, he's gonna throw me. If I pull guard, he's gonna pass.
Who got thrown? Was it you? The story with Tom? You didn't know that he was a judo brown belt, and he threw you the very first time.
I thought he was just pulling, so I kind of was just gonna go edging my way down. And next thing you know, he tossed me this way.
Yeah.
And I was in the air flat and just came down.
Yeah.
My back, I dislocated a rib or did something to one of my ribs.
So you didn't know. See, those of us who knew,
I had no idea.
I knew
he was judo Tom.
Mr.
I knew he was judo Tom, and I knew right away Ricardo was I think was he a brown belt in judo?
He's a brown
he went as
judo.
high as brown.
Yeah.
I don't think he trains anymore, but he but he went as high as brown belt. I knew that right away, so I definitely pull guard on him. You know, when you see them coming, I might give them the illusion that I'm going to stand with them just to make them like they think they're going to be, and then I'm just like, sit.
I've had that experience. I'm like, yes, we're going to stand up, pull guard.
Yeah, no. Well, we kind of know, you know, we know with you, we know with Tom, we know who the, like, you better be careful. But I think it's also like it's your responsibility to take care of your training partner.
Yeah,
so you just should be careful with the thing that you're throwing. Unless you're in the competition class, you know you do, then okay, different mindset, go crazy, do your thing, because you got to prepare that person, that training partner, for what they're about to get into. So it's different, but. You know, the guys that got to wake up in the morning and go to work.
Yeah, I sit guard most times. I just sit to start roll because, you know, even pulling guard lately because I got lower back issues. I'm plopping my butt down onto the mat. You know, 5, 6, 8 times during the class. I'm like, you know,
I do. I did it a couple of times. I got to play with it a little bit more. But like I've sat or been on like combat position and like the person's standing up starting, and if you can grab a lapel and grab their leg real quick. And then you just kind of sit them down, but you can come right up on them. I do like that one. But again, I'm doing that from their thinking I'm going to pull guard, and then I like come out with that. I've played with it a little bit. I'd love to get better at that.
I mean, for that injury reason, just trying to avoid injury, I've been working on more sweeps and trips. Low impact, low, high, low risk.
Yeah.
And I think because I was always so much stronger on top that, I mean, the last couple of years at least for sure, since we've been at our school, I always just start on the bottom, just because it was my weaker position.
Yeah.
But now with that half guard sweep that we got going on, it's kind of evening.
I love the jump guard too. I've probably done that right. Like just if somebody's on their butt and you can like jump guard, especially if you can grab them or you can slap the knees between your legs, just jump guard. I was actually showing it. I forget her name, the Russian girl.
Karina.
I rolled with her last night. It was a really small class. There was more like just ton going on. The weather, people are away. Felipe's away. It was like more kids in the class than adults. So I rolled with her last night, and I just walked over her and did it. And she was like, "Oh my God, show me how to do that." And I was showing her how to jump guard. She's like, "The girls don't know how to do this." She could watch her doing it on the girls this week. Music during rolling. I mean, we don't control the music a lot of times. I'm asking like a gym owner that, but preference, you like the music blasted while you're rolling?
I like it.
Yeah. What's your go-to? Well, if you control the music, what would you listen to?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, all we've really listened to is...
What do we go
Slayer,
see?
death metal.
Mudvayne.
Don't play Mudvayne do an open mat. People gonna die. Definitely not Mudvayne.
No, I like the Bob Marley, like the laid back.
Yeah. How about you? Music during rolling?
Music during rolling.
Yeah.
And something more laid back.
And what would be your go-to if you can control the music? What would you put on?
I would probably put on like just those instrumentals. Something slower. Not really too much lyrics.
Yeah. Justin.
Hell yes.
Go to. You love music?
Yes.
You like the music?
And
you're a music. Do you play?
I have a background in music.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't play anymore, but I repair instruments now.
Okay.
Reggae.
What reggae? That'd be your go-to.
Every time he puts on reggae, it's always
it's
the best.
funny. Now that you say that, it's funny because I do when the reggae's on, it kind of does feel like it's kind of
so
into the groove.
Are you listening to that? If you were in your car, would you be putting that on, or is it just because of the rolling, like in the rolling atmosphere?
Still to this day, I remember one specific day. It was an open mat, and he had Bob Marley playing, and not you. I'm sorry, Felipe had Bob Marley playing. And I still to this day remember being on the mat, listening to it and rolling. Yeah. And I can recall myself back to that just because of the vibe. It was just such
That's like the club days. Like I can remember like, oh my God, I hear a song and I'm like, I remember that from the club.
So I'll put it on just to
it brings you back to that moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about you?
Definitely music. Something like, reggae, like something with a nice and calm. I don't think playing any Mudvayne like doing on an open mat is just gonna get people like too worked out and and be aggressive.
Yeah.
Do you remember back in the old school when the coach used to do those motivation speeches from YouTube?
Yeah.
It has like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
like, talking,
the workout videos. There's a name of that genre. I forget what it is.
Yeah, it's you have like the people like you in a bad position, like you've been smashed.
There's like a motivational speaker talking over the music, like get in the gym when you're in the gym and you do this.
Believe in yourself, and things like that. Like I kind of miss those. I remember.
I like those too. That would get intense. Like it really you get worked out.
I wish Felipe would do that more often because he kind of stopped doing those.
I don't know why.
Yeah, that was. Those
I think
are-
he
those
went
are
more to the
fun.
iPad with the speaker
Yeah.
than putting on YouTube, right? Because there used to be the TV in the back.
Yes,
and he would throw on
yes,
YouTube. So it's a
yes.
little. The setup is a little different, I think.
Yes, you
That's
know,
probably
and
why.
So I kind of like those, but for the music, it definitely like something calm, especially doing open mats.
What about you, Ray?
It's funny now that they talked about the reggae. It is kind of a cool vibe. But if I was me and I was actually choosing music, it would probably be more like an EDM, like a house, trancey house type
Yeah.
of a vibe or something.
See,
Yeah.
I like every one of the ones that you said. Each one of those puts me like into a little bit of a different mindset. Like if it's Bob Marley, like I actually, my first coach used to joke around and he would sing to us. So like if there was a song on, he liked reggae, so he would sing to us. So it would be like you're rolling and you're like he was
to you?
265, yeah,
He
but
was
like
just singing,
kind of
like,
fucking with you
along
though,
while
like
he's
singing
rolling?
to
Okay.
you while you're rolling. Yeah,
While
yeah.
you're rolling with him.
So like, but he would like dance and sing. He used to wear a wig. Sometimes he would put on a blindfold and he would roll with us blindfolded. But he was a black belt. We were all white and blue belts, so really mostly white. So I remember back to those days. So I do that. And I will jokingly sing. You're nodding your head. Like I will jokingly sing to the person. So I love when it's like a love song on. Like, you know, sometimes all of a sudden it mixes in. He's like, how the hell is that playing in the playlist? So I love all of those versions because they each bring me into a certain place. Like if it was something hard, like I'm gonna like maybe roll a little bit harder. If it's a little bit more smooth, I'm gonna be like my roll goes along with what the music that's playing. So I love them all, and I put on a play like my playlist on my phone is like country, hip hop, freaking like NWA to freaking Justin Bieber. I'm not scared to say like I've got everything across the spectrum, and I would just put it on and let it play.
On the way to your rolls.
Yeah. You know, what do you listen to on the way to school? Do you have something that you use for motivation on the way to school?
I mean, nothing in particular. No.
I have a couple. Do you have anything?
I mean, I'm definitely listening to songs talking about we some head busters, you know,
Yeah.
like ready to knock somebody out.
Yeah.
You know, really
Get you pumped up.
getting pumped up. for
How about
sure.
you?
I drive with nothing on so that I can drive safely to the destination. No, I actually listen. Usually it's either a podcast. Sometimes it's Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast.
Ooh, good.
Usually political
I'll
podcast,
pay you later.
though. Honestly.
Nothing really, because I live like 2 minutes away from the school. So
Yeah, I get like I'm so close. I get the opportunity to put one song on, but what do you?
Yeah, I live so close that I'm usually just trying to wrap up a phone call or two before I get there or something too, you know.
Right now, my two go-tos are I'll listen to Still Dre, Still
Great
DRE,
song.
and Who's the Man? Who's the man with the master plan? Who's that? What's that group? Everlast. What was the guy?
Well, Everlast people who made
Everlast was from what group?
from House of Pain.
House of Pain.
Yeah.
Those are the two songs that I listen to right now. But I'm like 2 minutes away. In traffic, 3 minutes, so I get one song. So I'll usually I find that those are my two get me pumped up songs. Now on the way home, it's a whole different story. I like something mellow. I'm usually like in a mellow. I don't want something to lift me up. I want to like mellow out for the evening.
I'm putting
you know?
50 Cent's Many Men. You
Yeah.
guys familiar with that song?
That's a good one too. Yeah,
That's a great, like,
yeah. Many men have
ready
wished
to just
death
walk
upon
in
me.
and-
That's a
and
good one to
murder.
walk in. On the way home, I definitely like to get a little bit more chill. It's usually the evening training, and I'm just like, or if it was tough. No,
Enya. You put Enya on.
no, like, have you ever gotten into the car and you get home
Yes.
and you realize, wow, I've been
Nothing
in
was on.
silence
Yes.
this whole time, and
my
probably you were
thoughts.
rethinking your life. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Do you
here?
ever get it when you're driving home that you're reliving the rolls? And I'll find myself clawing the steering wheel, and I'll find my head.
Yeah, no, I've done
I'm
that.
driving in traffic, and I probably look like a moron just
Anyone?
reliving my rolls.
Yeah. You feel that?
Like
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
about the role, how it went, like what I could have done different if I got caught.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm usually if I'm reliving it, it's, and this is definitely like an ego thing that I always have to work on, is like if I'm mad, like somebody did something stupid and maybe I got hurt, or I'm like, man, that motherfucker gets me. Like Ricardo, the judo guy, he's a tough role.
Tough. Yeah. He's tough.
He makes me like when I've gone home and I'm thinking, how do I do that? And I have a little thing going with him now on how I've slowed him down.
Yes.
Like I've been catching him in my guard. I hope he doesn't listen to this. We actually we rolled it. I'm frustrating him with, if I can get him into my guard, we have like a battle with him trying to get out but that's just me like slowing him down, trying to figure out, okay, now where am I going?
Secrets too, you know?
What's that?
I notice with him, one thing I noticed, I always felt kind of frustrated with, he always takes you to the other side to pass on the other
Yes,
side.
he told me that.
Like, so
Did you know?
gotta
Did he
force him.
verbalize
You
it to you, or
gotta
you
force
just
him.
know
No,
that
I
he
just
does
noticed
it?
He told me that,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
He goes to the weak side. He admitted it.
goes
To,
the weak side.
he'll
But
go
it's
to you.
just smart though, because most
Right?
people
He
are
takes
not,
everybody to the
you
to the
know,
left, to
ready
this,
to,
to the,
to defend on that side.
yeah,
so much.
yeah. But that's So he's, and that's happened throughout. 9 years in, there have been people that have come through jiu-jitsu that have made me do that. That's you when I'm going home. Like that's happened with Ray too, with this damn freaking half Nelson, whatever it is. I'm like, how the fuck is he doing that? Like, and I had to like figure that out. The Kimura trap. I'm like, man, fuck. And I'm home like this. Kimura trap.
You know, I never feel like I get angry.
No,
I never get mad. And I feel like and I'm known as a bad temper, angry dude overall, like for the most part.
No.
But for whatever reason, I don't ever really. Do you ever feel like I get mad when we roll?
No.
Quite the opposite.
No, quite the
That's
opposite.
my-
Yeah.
that's
Like,
stupid.
I never,
No.
for whatever reason, I never. Even if I'm
When
getting
you told
beat
me
up or
stories the
something,
other
I never
day,
get mad.
remember
It's
you were
just
telling me
weird.
stories the other day about like the past. I was shocked because if looking at you, you would think what you told me about your past. I was like, if I didn't know you and I just saw you, I would think that that's the guy you are. To see how chill you are on and off the mat, to hear those stories, I was like, oh really? You were like that? Like that was odd to me. That didn't go along with the Ray that I know now. Like you're super chill and.
Yeah,
Like
you
you're
gotta
like,
be
yeah,
careful
there's a
about those
wedding at
stories,
my
I guess.
house this weekend. I just like, I'd be like arguing with my wife about what the fuck you doing, like I'm not, I wouldn't be that guy. You're definitely, I do get mad. I've gotten mad on the mat though, like, and I've showed it, and
Yeah, I've seen it.
I almost had that fight with Alex, like on the mat, the older Alex, me and him, we were doing flow rolls.
Listened to many men before.
We
on
were
that
doing,
day.
Adolfo was the coach. We were rolling. It's like, we're going to catch and release, but it was like catch and release. And we were going for like more than a 5-minute or 6-minute round. And switched to Alex and we're catch and release. It's a good flow roll. If you catch the submission, you let it go and you continue. What does Alex do? Alex gets me into a freaking triangle and he just fucking starts.
Finishes the submission.
But now I'm like, catch and release. You've gotten it. I'm gonna like kind of let you like show me the finish, and then you're supposed to let go, and we're supposed to continue.
You went straight for the
he
kill.
fucking went for the kill, and I wound up getting out, and I get out, I'm on my butt, and he comes at me, and I kicked him away from me, and I'm like, motherfucker, like you just. Best of friends with him now. But we were like on the outs for like probably more than a year, like where it was like Felipe kept us apart. We wouldn't roll together. And then one time there was like,
it got verbal.
It got verbal there, and Adolfo like had to get in between us. Alex like went outside to cool off, and Adolfo made me roll. He's like, come on, we're going to roll right now. And he made me roll it out with Adolfo. Me and Adolfo was rolling, and then I just had to stop. I was so like frustrated and angry, and I was like out of breath, and I definitely wasn't in the best like cardio shape. But he just made me get it out. He's like, get it out here, let's. But he made me. I was just like, no, man. He's like, no, come on. He grabbed me. He's like, we're gonna roll. We're rolling. And it's like Adolfo says, you're gonna roll. You're gonna roll. So like it made me roll out the anger a little bit. That's cool. But yeah, but yeah, that was that was probably the most angry, and I learned a big lesson after that. I'm like, I should have just tapped. Even in that, I could have avoided all that by tapping, but I had to be too proud. Even in, I could have just tapped early, like even like, hey, bro, what are you doing? Tap, and then we would have continued. But part of it was he had this thing about to this that he's never tapped me out. Mm-hmm. And he had this thing he had his list of people he hadn't tapped.
I gotta get you.
And but he did this thing where he would stand up at the end and go like this. An air check?
The bucket list.
Oh, yeah. So he would go like this. So I knew that, and I knew that even in that flow, he hadn't gotten me, and he wanted me so bad, and I wasn't going to give him that satisfaction. So again, it was ego against ego, mine just as much. But I was like, there's no way I'm going to let this motherfucker stand up and do this. But again, I see him. He cuts my hair every weekend. He's a good friend now, So, all right. So listen, we're running long. Let me go through these. So we talked about watching jiu-jitsu on the mat, so we won't talk about that. So what's your ultimate goal? Do you think this is something that you're going to do for the rest of your life?
I would like to think so. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I like the company. I mean, I'm around a group of people who are all positive, trying to better their situation, better their lives.
Yeah.
You know?
If you want to keep your job, you know.
Is there an unknown job requirement? Because like Ray's got like his entire family, staff. He's like, if you want to be my friend or work for me, you must train jiu-jitsu.
He tried for like 12, 13 years to get me to train.
Really, that long?
A long time. Like threatened, Tom, I'm gonna hold your check. Tom, I'm gonna do this.
Really?
You know. But like, it turns out, man, it was literally one of the best things I've done for myself in a long time.
Yeah, that's
You know?
good.
Amen.
Yeah.
How about you, Shar? Do you see?
I want to get my black belt. That's definitely the goal.
Do you feel like you would own a gym? Is this like a career path for you? Because like it can be, right? I mean, you can get higher level and coach and open a gym. I mean, do you feel like
Definitely want to.
Is that a dream?
I've thought up until the black belt point. After that, and competing in the black belt,
Yeah.
you know, tournaments, brackets,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah,
But as far as coaching or owning a gym, I'm not sure yet.
yeah. Justin,
I would
long
like
term.
to safely get to my black belt. I'm getting older. Gotta get
Well,
to my
you're
black
wearing the
belt.
right outfit
I'm
for it. Yeah.
Got the right mentality.
Mauricio?
Same thing. Like I mentioned before, I never liked anything else sport-wise. I fell in love with jiu-jitsu.
Soccer? And right, did you tell me like you never played soccer or you
I
never liked
played-
soccer?
oh, of course.
Being Brazilian, I mean, is that like a...
I'm from Brazil. I played soccer like many times. You know, I just never got into it. You know, and I was highly discriminated for. You know, because
Yeah.
in Brazil it's like you don't play soccer. You know,
something wrong with you?
something wrong with you, and especially like people automatically think I'm a soccer fan just because I'm Brazilian. But I fell in love with jiu-jitsu. I don't see myself not training. You know, it's been occasions that I couldn't train for some reason, and it sucks. You know, I get the dreams. I don't know if it happens to you guys when you don't roll for like too long and you start like dreaming that you're like training. You know, so
That happened to me when I did compete. I would dream about the competing, dude. I would. That's the only time that I would really dream about jiu-jitsu. But I think it was. I was not over. What's not the word? Not overcompensating, but I was nervous. I was nervous. I was
You start
overwhelmed.
obsessing about it. And stuff, I'm
Obsessing.
sure. Yeah.
That's the word. I was obsessing about it. And
I
was
used
just
to
like,
care more about the belt at the beginning, you know, like I want to get out of the white belt, you know, and want to blue to purple, you know. But today I don't really care about the belt that much, you know. It doesn't really mean as much to me anymore like it used to, you know, because take your belt away, you still have the skills, you know, and you put a belt in someone who never trained before, he's not going to have any skills just because of the belt.
Yeah.
I just want to keep training, you know. I love the connections that I made throughout those years, you know. I make so many good friends. Jiu-jitsu brought so many good things to my life, and especially between me and my son, you know. It's something that we do together, and it brought us together, you know, as a father and son.
Too, right?
And we have like
wife.
so many like families at the school, you know. I think that our school is great for that. You know, we have like so many like fathers and sons, daughters
It's
and mothers.
amazing how like the kids start and then they get the parents
and
on
then the
mat.
mothers, you know, and then the cousins, you know, and I think it's amazing. Like
We definitely have a really good family atmosphere in that regard.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I've told
Yeah.
the story a lot about on Saturdays, like cut the mat, like a third of the mat, and those are the kids, and it's almost always their parents are over here training. I think that's amazing. I think that's like a super plus for our school. We may not be the biggest competition school, although our kids program, when I say we're not a competition school, more the adult side. The kids competition team
the
is
kids
like
are
fucking
killing
sick.
now. The
They're
kids are
sick. They're
killing now.
competing in these events and going to these like submission, whatever. Not submission on the ground, but
it's
you know,
Rocco and
submission
Ronnie,
series and
armbars, the armbar killers.
yeah. So yeah,
I would imagine it's probably good for the families too, as far as the relationships between child and parent.
Ray
far
with
as
it.
how-
Ray
how well-
can't believe his wife is training. She's like in Vegas competing in worlds,
Yeah.
and he's like she was never really like an athlete at
I
all.
tried
Right?
for years to get her to come, and thankfully, the culture at our school with the family feeling it has with Sophia, and it started off with just my wife and a couple of the girls, and now I mean, look at it, there's so many girls on the mat now, it's crazy. But it's funny, you talk about the family relationship, right? Like if you think about the history of humans and what it used to be like, let's say in the 1800s.
Right.
The idea back then was, you had many kids. The idea was to have basically you were producing workers.
Right.
You guys were all had this endeavor that you were involved in,
Right.
for some type of family type business.
There's a purpose. It was a family
Now, like,
purpose.
Families are really just a bunch of individuals with individual lives living
Right.
under the same roof.
There's more community
jiu-jitsu,
oriented.
you know, really is something that brings that family together to all, like, you know, have one common thing that you're all like working on, talking about. I mean, it's the most amazing thing that's happened is having my wife start to train and all my kids, you know, because I had my kids training before my wife trained. And that was one thing when you have, you know, it's like me pushing for the kids to go train. And, you know, if the kids are feeling like tired, you know, they're like, I don't want to go. And then mom was like, they don't feel like going today. You know what I mean? So it was always like a struggle for me to try to force everybody to keep training jiu-jitsu.
Sure.
But now that my wife trains, it's not even a question. We all load into the car together. We all go together. We go out to eat afterwards. And it's just like, you know.
And if they don't train, you just fire them.
Right. yeah. But,
Or if you don't show up to the podcast.
I always say that having
have
my
new
wife
kids.
start to train jiu-jitsu is probably the most amazing thing that's happened to me in the last 20 years. I mean, that I can even think of.
That's a clip right there. That's a clip. We're gonna send that to her. Yeah, she's gonna love on you for that one.
Must be nice.
All right, last one. Again, those of you who watch the show or listen to the show, you know what the last question is. Do you or do you not wash your jiu-jitsu belt?
I do.
You better, motherfucker.
I wash it maybe like once a month.
Ugh, that's not enough.
I spray it with the neutral zone.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you're good then.
I've never washed my belt.
You've never washed
Nice,
your belt?
yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
you're the smelly
None
bastard.
of my
No.
belts. I actually have,
Never?
I actually have some blood on my blue belt right
Yeah.
now.
Really?
Blood, stay there.
Mm.
One of you guys.
How about you? You washing it?
I practice safe and sanitary practices.
Yeah. Mauricio?
So there's a quote from the movie that I think is Gangs of New York when the guy says the blood stays on the blade.
Yes.
So no.
I just watched that movie the other day.
Yeah, yeah, it was the butcher, right? It
Bill
says
the Butcher?
The
Bill
blood
the-
stays on the
yeah.
blade.
Yeah.
Compelling quote.
Yeah, so don't
Do
wa-
you never wash it?
No.
No?
You're
Great
gonna
movie.
wash away
Dirty
my
bastard.
no, man. You can't wash your belt. It's you know.
Right.
That's my powers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can't say that I've never washed it because when you live in the house with 5 and 6 jiu-jitsu people and
Yeah.
there's gis and shit everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
It's happened like almost accidentally. It gets thrown in or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't go out of my way to wash it. But I do have a method to sanitizing.
Go ahead.
It's
Yeah.
ultraviolet. I put it. I usually throw my belt up on the dashboard of my car or my truck
Again,
or whatever.
okay.
Infrared,
And, you know, that
ultraviolet
sun
rays.
literally it
Okay.
bakes the thing, and you know it's I don't know that might I give it the smell test all the time. It doesn't seem like
Who
my belt
uses
smells.
ultraviolet to sanitize his belt? Fancy Ray.
Right, fancy, right? Yeah, right? I thought he was going to be like literally like he had something at home where he puts it in. Everybody knows I'm a belt washer. I wash it less. I have multiple belts. Like I'm not so attached to the individual belt. Like I've never thought of it that way. But I would just grew up in jiu-jitsu that way. It was like it
Because
wasn't a
you
big
wash
deal.
it, so you have no connection to all your bodily fluids on it
No,
anymore.
it's dude. That's just like for me. It's just like I'm washing my underwear. I wash my gi. I wash the belt.
Yes,
it's never
the gi
been that
after
thing.
every
I think
single
it's also,
class.
you know how you come up in it. Like nobody ever told me not to. So I was never taught like, oh, don't do it, warrior. Blood of your enemies. But if you come up with in that, then you're gonna think that, right? As soon as you come into jiu-jitsu, you start to, like I talked about singing. I'm singing to people because my first coach sang, and it was like something that we did. This was a funny one. He used to, if he got you in a choke, he'd be behind you. He'd go, I like your panties. He would just whisper, I like your panties in your ear. And you'd be like, what the fuck? What is going on? Yeah, like, so he just loved to have fun. And
quirky guy.
Drew trained with me from A&M.
Okay.
He trained, and he's definitely got that like mindset. He has that feel from my first gym. That's why I like training with him, because he's got that, like, anybody could talk, you could joke around, respect,
Not
but
super serious.
yeah,
It's
it's super.
low lax.
It's super fun. Everybody that's there can say something or joke around or make a joke, white or black belt, and it's just like a really cool atmosphere. And that's where my first gym was.
Funny
Not
you
to
say
say that
that,
I don't love where we are, but you're not gonna say something funny. Well, maybe I think some of us maybe can say something.
I talk a little shit.
I think there's some of us that feel like a little bit more comfortable in saying something, maybe because we're older and we're just like, we don't give a fuck, versus like if a white belt spoke out while Felipe was showing a move, he would be pissed off, and he may not necessarily show it, but he's not happy when that, like, you've heard him like talking to the kids, like, shh,
Yeah.
right, like that was in my first gym. It was just like it was a little bit more open and free, but I mean that's I like that environment too. That's good.
Thank you to Feito IT and AV, specializing in commercial and residential automation, security cameras, CCTV, POS, and more. Check them out at feitoitav.com or call 305-428-2515 and let them know the dummies sent you. The Jiu-Jitsu Dummies would like to congratulate Neutral Zone Clean on the release of their newest product, a healthy and pH-balanced bar soap that's perfect for anyone looking to take care of their skin. This soap is made with all natural ingredients that help nourish and restore your skin's natural barrier. It contains glycerin, which naturally attracts moisture to itself in the skin, leaving it feeling soft and hydrated. The new bar soap also contains a blend of olive, coconut, and castor oils and shea butter, which are rich in vitamins, nutrients, essential fatty acids, and antioxidants that help fight harmful bacteria. With tea tree and other natural ingredients, it also helps in the prevention of fungal infections. Not only is it effective, but it also leaves your skin feeling fresh and lightly scented. It's gentle enough for even the most sensitive skin, making it a perfect choice for the whole family. Be sure to check out their website, neutralzoneclean.com, for a range of all-natural products including sprays, wipes, and shower gels, and use code JJD for 15% off your order. Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu-Jitsu Dummy signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
All right, guys, I got a bunch of gifts for you. I'm gonna let you choose one and pass it down. This is a bunch of CBD stuff from NutriZone CBD. I've had it for a while. We had it like on set. They're going to a new logo, so hopefully we're gonna get some new stuff from them. So here, take one, pass it down. You guys can all share in that. What is it like?
Massage oil from Sports Recovery.
Ooh. Yeah, there's some good stuff there. That's all CBD based. I got some shirts as well. I got some more shirts. Who didn't get a shirt? Didn't? What's your size over there? Medium. What's your size, Tommy? Large?
Medium.
How about
What's that?
Chick-fil-A, the chokehold? Okay, you can have this one.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone didn't get a shirt?
I got one.
I have a shirt.
I got a
Oh,
you got a shirt?
today.
You got a shirt? You got a shirt? You got a shirt?
This is medium, so hopefully.
Yeah. You got a medium? Did you ever get one of my black belt shirts? Anybody not get a black
I could
belt
use
shirt?
a new one.
What size are you?
Large.
Large? XL?
I'll take a large
So?
one, if you don't mind.
Hold on. This is Stephen Williams, who's no. Well, you can have that one. I saw this shirt. Look at this shirt. See, electric sheep. Get it? Look at him on his cell phone. Sheep. This I thought of you. I wanted you to have that one, and I think that's a good size for you. That was like definitely in line with your. This is a small, and a medium. That's all I got left. No size. Nobody's that small. All right. Who's gonna get the Layout Optics glasses?
I think we got to do something
You
over
got
here
a blue
for
belt
it, no?
pair.
What's that?
You got a blue
No,
belt
this
pair?
is
You open this? It's gonna smell.
yeah. So
I think Tommy probably gonna win.
I'm gonna-
right down the outside.
I got no offense to anybody here. I'm gonna give this to Shar.
Thank you.
Shar, I think you very outspoken here on the podcast today. I think you did a great job.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun, man.
No offense to anybody else. I got to make a decision. There you go.
Ooh, and it comes in a nice fancy case.
And I got everybody can take. I got all these mugs back here, Jiu-Jitsu Dummies mugs or the digital mug. Everybody can grab a mug. They're labeled right. The Jiu-Jitsu ones are. There's a Jiu-Jitsu Dummies mug in it, and then the other one is the company, the black belt. So if you've got one, if you got the other, take whichever one you want. And thank you guys for doing this, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I'd love to do it again. Yeah, we're gonna go have some sushi. Anybody
why
that
I
wants to
came.
stick
I came
around, I'm
for
gonna buy.
I was going to say that. I only came because I was promised like free lunch after this.
So thank you for tuning in, everybody. Check us out at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies on Instagram for all the ways to watch, listen, and support. I'm Uncle Milty BJJ on IG. Anybody want to give out their IG? You don't have to. Anyone?
Yashar.Garcia on IG.
What is it? SSH?
YASHAR.Garcia.
Okay. Anybody else want to give it out?
I am Liberty J. Lancaster.
Liberty Lancaster.
Liberty Lancaster.
Yes.
Anyone?
Anyone?
My sons, Rocco 420_BJJ.
There you go. Anyone else? We're good? All right, guys. Thank you for watching and listening. Peace, love, jiu-jitsu. Oos.